here at PA Truck Driving Championships at Kalahari, brought to you by PMTA. I'm Luke, your host. With me, the co-host, Megan Majensky, with PMTA Director of Communications, and we are here celebrating day 2. This is the driving portion of the competition. We also, sitting with us over here, is the Pennsylvania Secretary of Transportation, Mike Carroll, which we'll do an interview a little bit later in a second, but we want to recap everything that's happened so far. So again, this is day 2, and the first day we had the written exam where they're taking their safety test.
I heard it was very challenging.
Oh,
if I
really?
could just butt in here.
Yeah.
I had drivers tell me that it was really hard. And I guess the reason why it's so hard is because our test is made up of numbers that they have to know very closely. So I had some guys like, I didn't know this. Do you know the answer to this? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm not the one to ask. Look in your Facts for Drivers book for that one.
Driver's book, which you got to get if you're going to compete next year.
Yep.
Get the book. You have time to study it, study. And a lot of this event is preparing, practicing. I've heard drivers out here, we did a pre-trip inspection yesterday as well. There's a lot of different trucks, all the different categories with planted violations, issues. It's something that they have to find multiple of. And, you know, the drivers are sitting in the room, and then once they're done, they have to go to a different room so they don't say anything. It's just a fantastic atmosphere. And that's pre-trip inspection. You do it every day. But this time you're getting tested heavily for it, for this competition.
Pressure's on.
Pressure is on. And then finally, day 3, this is the driving competition. Day 2.
Yep.
Driving competition. It's happening right here behind us. Again, there's 9 different categories, so you see different types of vehicles out here competing. There's actually a couple different courses back here. They're going to be doing going around barrels here, trying to get as close as possible without bumping into them. There's a gate back here as well where there's like a loading dock. They're going to back up, try to get as close as they can before hitting the wall, basically, and a lot of fun. We'll talk about how the points sort of break down and all of that. But it's a little breezy, a little chilly this morning.
It is
you were
chilly.
Singing, right?
Oh boy, yes, I sang the national anthem.
Well.
Oh,
Yes, you
stop. It was very cold. I was freezing up there. But we got our Kalahari sweatshirt on. We're repping the venue. And hopefully it'll be warm enough that I can shed this soon and show you my tropical outfit that I have for today.
Oh, there we go.
There will be some outfit changes.
Wow.
Best prepare. Right now, we have with us Secretary Mike Carroll. He is the Pennsylvania Secretary of Transportation. We're so thrilled to have him here with us. Fun fact about you is that you have a CDL.
How weird is that?
No, I said it gives him street cred.
You know, I got it years ago when I was on a paving crew, and I have a B with an air brake, and I've kept it for all these years. And if I were on that course today, the barrels and cones would have a very bad morning.
Okay,
but we would have fun watching it.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
would. We would.
Ridicule on steroids.
And you have competed in a trucking rodeo of sorts before.
A bus rodeo. I
Bus
drove
rodeo.
a city bus in the bus rodeo in Pennsylvania, and that was a challenge, to say the least. It's like everything else. Things that are done well by professionals look easy.
Yes.
And when you try, it's really hard.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about what you do at PennDOT.
So as the Secretary of Transportation, I'm responsible for the entire department, 10,000 employees across the state, responsible for all modes of transportation, not just roads and bridges, but the issuance of the driver's license credentials. And then we have, aviation, we have rail, we have bike and ped, we have the ports of Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Erie. We have transit. We have a responsibility to provide for the transportation needs of 13 million people every day.
Yep. What are some of, I guess, like the big challenges that you guys are working through right now?
Well, it's always a challenge to reconcile the available financial resources with the need for a network that's in Pennsylvania quite extensive.
Yes.
We have more roads and bridges than almost any other state.
Yeah.
The way that Pennsylvania's highway network is set up, PennDOT's responsible for far more miles of highway than most other state DOTs. But the good news is that we have really talented people at PennDOT, and our construction contractors and our consultants do a really good job. and then we turn the assets over to the professional drivers to make sure they can deliver the goods across the state.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that the folks that are Pennsylvania CDL drivers, I would stack them up against any in the nation.
Yeah, we have talked so much about that. The drivers that we have here competing from Pennsylvania are the cream of the crop, the best of the best. They really practice to be here. A lot of these companies host their own rodeo truck driving championships. What do you have to say to these drivers who kind of maintain that safety record all year long?
Well, I would say that it's important to celebrate success.
Yes.
In so many ways, in every industry, whether it's the trucking industry or even in government, I'm not going to say we all deliver perfection, but we do a really good job, all of us. And it's too easy just to focus on the day that is not a great day for any of us. More often than not, things go really well because people are committed to the craft, they're professional, and they do a really good job. And so, I'm proud of the drivers that are here today. I know there are thousands more just like them that aren't here today.
Yes.
Their skills are on full display every single day.
Yeah. Is this your first truck driving championships in PA?
It is, and I'm so thankful that the Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association invited me today. Rebecca does a really good job on behalf of the organization, and advocacy on behalf of all things trucking, very effective.
Yeah, she, I know, is working really hard on truck parking right now. How have you guys kind of tried to prioritize that with us?
Well, PennDOT made it a priority. The Turnpike is making it a priority. Working with our stakeholders to identify properties that could be turned into truck parking in an effort to try and alleviate what is a real critical national problem.
And I think that is one of the biggest things that I appreciate about Secretary Carroll and working with you and your team. You do understand what this is like. I don't know, I just think because you're a CDL holder, like I said, it gives you a little bit of street cred. You know what the issues that our drivers are dealing with are. So I really appreciate that.
It's important. And we all have a different part in the play. And the men and women behind the wheel of those trucks, they deserve the respect and the support that the Commonwealth can provide and that the public can provide. I mean, it's easy to, highlight concerns that people have when it comes to PennDOT or trucking, but the reality is we can't live life without these trucks on the road and the goods that they deliver.
Yep, that is true. What do you think about the event that we put on here?
Like everything else, more sophisticated than the average person might think, much more challenging than anybody would think. And the drivers that are out on the course, the men and women, really they are dedicated to try and making sure that they represent their companies and that they do a good job on the course. It's really hard. It
is really hard. We do have for $20 today, you can get behind the wheel of a truck yourself, and I have to do it because I've worked in this job a year. I haven't been behind the wheel of a truck. You, of course, have someone trained next to you, but that's on my to-do list for today, and I'd love to see you show your stuff out there too, Secretary.
Well, you know what? You and I will both go do that.
Yes.
And
Luke.
I will mention real quick, this is, again, why you should join an organization like PMTA, your state organization, because the relationships that we have with the legislation process and the people around it, and being able to communicate those kind of partnerships. If you want your voice heard, that's the way to do it, is using your state organization. So that's why I highly recommend doing that, and then you can have people brought together and be that much closer to helping the process of getting rules and regulations to help benefit the trucking industry. But yeah.
It is really special. And like I said, I'm so grateful that we have people like Secretary Carroll and our legislators that have come to our events and heard from our truck drivers what it really is like on the road. I think it goes a long way that you guys are here and willing to hear from the people that you represent. So thank you.
And PMTA does a really good job. They're just sophisticated and smart. And when they walk around the halls of the Capitol in Harrisburg, the collective voice of all the folks here today is heard thanks to PMTA.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay, I know Luke has some fun facts that we want to ask you. So buckle up because he's got some fun questions.
All right, so first question. I ask this on most of the podcasts that we do, but favorite trucking scene or trucking movie that you have?
Simple. Smokey and the Bandit.
And you mentioned there's a star in the movie that you really love.
Well, there's a star with a mustache that is debonair, but my favorite is Fred, the Basset Hound.
Fred, the Basset Hound, which brought up a conversation earlier where interesting stat about
Yeah.
vehicles, pets.
Yes, I think it's almost 40% of truck drivers have a pet with them that they take out on the road. And like we saw at our truck driver appreciation events this year, these drivers, they take their dog out with them, and they're just happy to kind of have a partner in crime on the road. So it's not as uncommon as you would think.
People love pets, and that applies across the board, and it's no surprise to me whatsoever that the truck drivers, have their pet along with them as well.
Yep. Any other questions?
Yeah,
Maybe a trucking song? Do you have a favorite trucking song?
Oh, I'll go with Convoy.
Convoy, it's a good one. Classic.
Okay, so alongside music, when you're driving up here, what are you turning on?
Well, I like country western,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I like a little bit of rock,
There you
and
go.
so a wide range.
Okay.
I mix it up.
Any podcasts?
Now and then I'll listen to a podcast. Not a big podcast guy,
Okay,
but
okay.
Now and then.
Yep.
News related.
Oh.
News related, exactly.
Now that I've left the news industry, I just can't anymore.
Which, and then of course, my job is writing hundreds of articles on
Yeah.
trucking news
Yes.
and the regulations and the rules and all that fun stuff,
Yep.
which you can check out at cnsprotects.com.
There you go.
And by the way, CNS is the media sponsor. We're the one helping bring this live stream out here. And then you'll see we have a CDL school, CNS Driver Training Center, and on the trophy, we're going to be on there as well, and are just so excited for the sponsors helping us being able to come out here and do this. And of course, Megan for letting us come out here and do this.
Well, I called Luke up. I know that he has his podcast, Caution Wide Right. You can find that on their YouTube channel. And he does a really great job with that. He's interviewed Rebecca Oyler, our president and CEO, a couple times. Maybe he'll have to get you on there sometime, Secretary Carroll. I think that would be great.
Sure.
But anyway, he does a really, really nice job. And so I knew he had the equipment to put this together. So I said, hey, do you guys want to do a little media sponsorship with us? And it has just worked out great. They have been so great to work with. CNS, like Luke kind of talked about, they run a company that is focused on safety, that's focused on kind of creating a safety culture in the workplace. And so that really aligns with what we do at PMTA. And I know a lot of our member companies partner with you guys, and so it's just great to have you here. We're so lucky. Thank you for being our media sponsor.
And I will say there's also magic behind us, or over there to the right. We have Will and Toby, videographers, running the show and helping it all work smoothly. So again, just thankful to them doing the work that they're doing behind the scenes. So
Yep.
I will mention, wherever you're watching, we're live streaming on the PMTA's Facebook page. Go follow them, like that, comment over there. Also on the CNS Company's Facebook or YouTube page, we like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know. Have you ever competed? How long have you been driving? Are you a family member? Don't have a CDL yet and just curious about getting into the industry? Start a conversation and ask us questions, and we'll pass it along. I'll try to have some stuff open and follow it along, and if you got questions, we'll try to answer them as well. Expectations for today. We are going to cover this as long as we can, 3-4 hours. We'll see how it goes. I might get sunburned, but that's okay. But behind us again, we're going to be watching this. We'll talk about this. We have driver interviews. We have company interviews, other cool stuff, a chat with the FMCSA. I also got a ride in a 1953 Autocar, and it's gorgeous.
Very cool.
And we'll show a clip of that as well in a little bit. But Secretary Carroll, thank you so much for coming out here.
I have to give a shout out to Kalahari
Oh,
for
my
being the
gosh.
host here for this event.
We're repping.
The Great Pocono Mountains,
Yes,
where
beautiful.
the Great Pennsylvania Getaway, being in the Poconos, really spectacular. I know the folks at Kalahari and across the Pocono Mountain region embrace tourism, embrace conventions like this, and so I'm bragging a little bit on the Pocono Mountains and here at Kalahari.
Yes, yeah. Secretary Carroll is from this area.
I'm not far from here, down at, in the Pittston area between Scranton and Wilkes-Barre, so this is close to home for me.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're really proud of the beautiful day we have here today in the
Yes.
Poconos, and sometimes it rains and sometimes it snows, but today is a beautiful sunny, a little bit windy. But, you know, there's so much to do and see in the Poconos. We're thrilled to have PMTA and all of these folks here with us this week.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Secretary Carroll, for taking the time to talk with us, for taking the time to be here today. We appreciate you so much.
Thanks,
we will let you get back to watching the show.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day.
Yes, thank you so
Okay.
much. Okay, Luke. It's us now from here.
We can take a break. So
Oh, we can take a break,
He's
I've
up.
heard. Okay.
we're muted.
Entering Force A in the Straight Truck Division is Sam Roman, representing Ward Transport and Logistics.
We'd like to thank more sponsors: Pitt, Ohio, Tyson, Ward, PMTA, Lancaster Chapter, Northwest Chapter, South Central Chapter, and Philadelphia Delaware Valley Chapter.
Entering Force A in the 3-axle division is Craig Keller, representing ABF Freight.
Entering Course B in the flatbed truck is Jeffrey Ford from Walmart. Good luck, Jeffrey.
Just a reminder, the 5-axle and step van division drivers, contestants should be in the bullpen, please. 5-axle and step van drivers in the bullpen. Entering Course A in a straight truck is Peter Nisley, representing XPO.
All right, we are here with some spectators, and I hear that you guys have family. Your dad's driving, correct, today? And what company does he work for? UPS. How long has he been practicing for this?
Entering course B.
Driving for 2 years and then practicing. Does he talk a little bit about? Was he nervous for coming out here? Yeah.
Good luck.
All right, so we're at Kalahari. It's a water park. You guys been having fun?
Yeah.
What's your favorite ride?
Honestly, I think it was the. Hold on. What was the first ride that we rode?
Was it a group one or was it one that was just
Barreling Baboon.
barreling baboon? Was that the one with the toilet bowl at the end, or I can't remember? But no, yeah.
It was the one. Like you went down and went like you went up and then you went down again and you went back up.
Oh yeah. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, I got my kids out here somewhere around here. They might even still be swimming. Like, all right. So the trucking event behind us. What do you guys think about the semis? What do you think about the competition?
I think they are.
Here, camera.
I think they're pretty. Nice.
Entering course A in the 3-axle division is
What do you think? What do you think?
Green, representing
They're pretty
FedEx
big.
Freight.
Oh yeah, really big, pretty loud too. But do you know what they're trying to do out here?
They're trying to like race.
They're not racing. So here,
Obstacle.
obstacle course
yeah.
basically, right? So right behind us, there's that orange barrel. So usually, if you're driving, any of you guys drive yet?
No.
No, of course not. But if you guys were driving, you want to go around that barrel, and you don't want to hit it, right? You're staying away from it, right?
Yeah.
No, these guys are trying to get as close to that barrel as possible without bumping it. So, and then back there's the gate, the alley dock, and they're backing into it and trying to get as close as they can before they hit that back wall. And if your dad does delivery, so he drives for UPS. So is he going to be in in one of the trucks? Is he out here soon, or?
He's in a tractor trailer.
Tractor trailer out there. That's awesome. What else? Any other thought? Hey, how about this? I've been asking this a lot. Think about this. Semi trucks in a movie. It could be a scene, a trucking movie. Can you think of a movie with semi trucks in it? And what's your favorite? I can lead it in, but I have a couple ideas.
I don't really know. The only thing that I can really remember are the Cars movies.
Cars movie with the truck, of course. Yeah. That's a good one. And then we have Transformers, Optimus Prime. You know what yep. He transforms. I don't know, you guys watch The Matrix at all?
No.
They do fight scenes on top of semi trucks, which is really cool.
Attention
But
drivers.
you guys wouldn't know the old 80s movies, so.
Sleeper division
Well,
or the
cool. Well,
truck
any other
division.
thoughts about this? Who are you rooting for? You wanna call him out?
Sleepers,
Say good luck to your dad.
truck drivers.
Brian, good luck out there. And hey, thank you for joining me. You guys want a hat?
Yeah.
1, 2, whoop, 3. Hey, thank you guys, and have fun.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
representing FedEx Freight. Entering Course A in the 3-axle division is William Pryor, representing FedEx Ground.
I'd like to thank more sponsors: PMTA, Lehigh Chapter, H.R. Ewell Incorporated, Pennsylvania Turnpike, DHL, Napa, LB Water, Grocery Haulers, and CNS. Thank you, sponsors. On Course B, in the flatbed division, is Darrell Miller, who drives for the Coke Company Salt. Good luck, Darrell.
Okay, don't fall off the edge. Okay.
We're good.
Oh, we're back.
We are back here at the driving competition. Obviously, we had some guests. We're having some fun here. But we have a new guest.
Yes, this is one of our board members for PMTA. This is Calvin Ewell. He works for H.R. Ewell. And Calvin, you have just been the biggest PMTA supporter like almost your whole life. When was it that you got involved with PMTA?
I've been in PMTA my whole life. My father was involved back in the 50s, PMTA. He was on the board. I've been on the board, active with PMTA for a long time here.
So why did you come out today for the truck driving championships?
I come out today to support the truck drivers. I think it's great. These guys are out here competing, trying to get the #1 spot so they can make it on the Nationals.
Yep. Nationals are in August in Indianapolis. And it looks like we've got your whole family here, actually, that want to come say hi. Come on in, guys. Give us a wave. Hi. So really, this is fun for the whole family.
Exactly.
Have you guys had a good time here at Kalahari? Have you been?
a good time?
Have a good time?
Yes. Have you been to the water park?
Have you girls been to the water park?
Yeah. Oh, fun, fun.
Do you like
Aw.
the water slides?
The wave
Yes.
of Lazy River, right?
Lazy River, anybody? For Mom. Mom checked it out. Good. Aw. Well, thanks, guys, for coming on. Give us a wave. Give everybody a wave. Aw, well, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Enjoy the water slides, fam. Okay. Okay, well, Calvin, like I said, this is fun for the whole family. Your whole family came out.
Yeah, since it got moved up here to Kalahari, kids wanted to come up here with the water park, so it's been a great time for them. I've been coming to the TDCs for many years. Family members didn't come along, but since it's Kalahari, they're all here.
They're all here. They wanted the water slides, right?
Yep.
And like I said, you've been a board member with PMTA for about how long? Do you know?
Board member, late 90s, early 2000.
Wow.
We'll let the
20
audience do
years.
the math on that one.
Yeah, about over 20 years. So what do you see as being like the biggest changes that have happened in PMTA over the years?
Changes.
Putting you on the spot
Well,
here.
yeah, put me on the spot here, but this TDC has really grown. I know I wasn't a fan of coming to Kalahari. It's a big change, but I got to eat crow because it's really worked out well. It's been a great event. We got more drivers because we were down to maybe 120 some drivers at the event. Now we're up to 200 drivers, so it's really been a great success moving it to Kalahari here and the support we got. Today's a great day and no rain, which is great.
Tell me a little bit about why, like, this for PMTA is a huge safety event. Like, these drivers are the safest of the safe in Pennsylvania, the best of the best. And I have said on the live stream, this is like promoting that culture of safety that we really want to do at PMTA. Why is that important to you as a member, as a board member, and how do you do that at your company?
Oh, it's very much safety-minded here that all these drivers are competing. They have to have a year accident-free to even compete here. And if they become the winner in their various classes, we got 9 classes, they can move on to the Nationals, which, as we mentioned, are in Indy this year. And they're all out there competing, trying to beat each other, even though they're friends and everything.
Yeah.
They still want to be number one to move on to the Nationals. But you said about the company, just gives you a safer image out there, a better image. I mean, sometimes trucking gets the rap for a lot of problems, but with safe drivers and these type drivers promoting safety, it's good for our industry.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
I'm curious on my end. So our company deals with a lot with the DOT regulations. Over the years, what are some of those big regulations for you that impacted you, whether it's a driver, as a company, to today?
Safety regulations, it was a big change when they came out of electronic logs. Not that we didn't comply, but just the logging electronically. Sometimes the device doesn't work. You got to switch back to paper logs, and all this is, I thought the guys would like it. When they got to go to paper, they don't like it. It's the electronic is so much nicer, but there's still problems with those at times. They get their instructions. There's just so many things happen which are good that way. As far as the trucks, it's safety, lane departure devices, crash mitigation, your Bendix, forget what it's called, but watches the side of your truck, the front of your truck, all that stuff. It's doing a great job and making the truck safer, better. Disc brakes. I mean, there's a lot of safety features we as a company add on and think it's a big safety, and we're advocating safety.
Yeah, that's great. One of the things that I am really impressed with that you do is you are very involved politically. You have attended a bunch of call-on Washingtons that PMTA has done with the American Trucking Associations. Why do you continue to attend those? What has that experience been like for you? Give me the scoop on call-on Washington.
I feel we got to make our legislators, congressmen aware of what we're facing out there. I don't care if it's a state level, going to with PMTA to the Pennsylvania, going to with PMTA, with ATA to Washington, did call-on Washingtons I belong to the National Tank Truck Association. We've done call-on Washingtons, and it's very important to get down there and talk to our congressman and senator and tell them what we see, what problems we have. Our biggest thing right now is the 21-year-old driving rules to try to get more drivers in our industry. Crossing state lines, you got to be 21 years of age. Pennsylvania, it's 18, and that's what we're arguing for now, is trying to get 18-year-olds able to cross state lines and drive this great country we have and haul the freight and keep the citizens filled with products.
Yep.
So.
We introduced a resolution in the Pennsylvania state, both House and Senate, and the resolution actually passed the Senate Transportation Committee. So it heads now for the full Senate to consider it in Pennsylvania. And that, you know, a resolution isn't a bill, it's not law, but it is kind of a sign to Congress that Pennsylvania wants drivers that are under the age of 21 to be able to drive across state lines. That's important to Pennsylvania companies and their legislators. So that is something that we've worked hard on at PMTA, and like you said, we've talked a lot about at the Capitol too as well.
Talked a lot about it. It's a federal thing that we got to push. Pennsylvania got to push the feds to push this thing through, and like they had a pilot program for the military.
Yep.
It just never got traction because there's so much red tape with it. It just didn't make good progress there. So we're back at it again. You know, you go out and go to the service and go to the war force at 18 years old, fly the fighter planes and the trucks we got, but we can't drive trucks in the United States across state lines at 18 years old.
And it's funny, I've heard from so many company owners like yourself that say, you know, we employ drivers that will drive from Erie to Philly and have done it for 2 years for us, but somebody that is 21 that has even less experience than them can't drive from Philly to New Jersey, you know?
Correct.
So it is just kind of that common sense stuff that as company owners and as, you know, truck drivers themselves, we have to be able to tell our representatives because that's important.
Well, and it's interesting too because the under 21 test program that they're doing right now to allow these drivers, young drivers, to cross state lines. I mean, no one's taking them up on it. There's not that many drivers are doing it. There's not many companies that are authorized right now to do it, and they're trying to revamp it and try to make it work. But what they're doing, it's like these little baby steps. It's nothing.
It's not.
Yeah, like Calvin said, there's just so much red tape when it comes to those programs. And I think a lot of people out there don't know, in the trucking industry, I think it's 89% of companies are small businesses. So these company owners don't have the time to fill out that paperwork even to apply for the apprenticeship program. And then on top of that, you have to have inward-facing cameras and all of that. So I actually think that we just got that removed, the inward-facing cameras from the pilot program.
Okay.
I think so.
They're trying to make it a little bit more simpler.
Yep.
But it's a lot of. I mean, again, they want the data. They're trying to track this data to make it a bigger thing.
Yeah.
It is harder. It is. The bigger companies need to step up, and then the young drivers currently have to have a CDL, have to be driving, and have a safe experience of driving in the state already. So you're taking the top of the young drivers. There's just not that many of them anyway.
Right.
So it's like, can you just open it up?
Right.
Open up to everyone. Almost like from training, just allow them to cross during that training process. Because again, someone's got to be in the truck with them as they drive. You know, there's personnel and timing with all of that. It's a process.
Yeah. And I think something that we've talked a lot about, and we talked about even at our call on Washington, trucking is a career that, you know, it's a trade. You get your CDL and then you can have a long family-sustaining career. But for a lot of 18-year-olds coming out of high school, it's not a viable option because they'll have to take a couple years off, where you could go be an electrician, be a plumber, be a construction worker, and get a job right away.
Exactly.
So that's one of the big things that, like Calvin said, we have worked really hard on and are just trying to push that message wherever we can.
Correct. Yeah, and you mentioned some of the safety devices. If they did away with the inward-facing cameras, I know there were certain regulations or certain things you had to have: outward facing, inward facing, automated transmissions, the lane avoidance, the collision mitigation, all this. But you have electronic logs, and that monitors hard braking. It monitors a lot of these things.
Right.
I mean, it's just really overkill.
Right.
I think there's still great things for a safer environment, but
Yes.
to get these guys started, not every trucking company is going to have all these devices.
Right,
So
right. Especially, they are small businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Luke has a slew of kind of fun trucking facts that we'd like you to answer for us, Calvin.
Oh boy.
So quick question.
Okay.
Favorite trucking movie or movie scene with a semi-truck in it?
Probably Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, that's been a favorate today. Nice,
That's a good
nice.
one. And then, do you have a favorite, or let's say trucking song, or there's a lot of them out there. There's actually,
a lot of them out there.
There's more songs than movies, which is actually surprising.
Yeah. Slow ride, take it easy. That's one of my faves. Convoy.
Convoy for sure.
Convoy's a good one.
Trucker Convoy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. What about even just your favorite driving music? What do you like to listen to?
I listen mostly country, but anything. I don't.
Yep.
Whatever the radio's, I'm still a radio guy.
Yes.
So whatever the radio's playing, that's what I'm
you're listening to. Good, good. Well, thank you, Calvin. Thanks for being here,
Yeah,
and thanks for
welcome. I
taking the
enjoyed
time
it.
with us.
And we'll let
Beautiful.
you. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
We'll let you get back to your family. I saw some family photos taken. So
Yes,
we gotta get
they're
you
very
back in
cute.
there. I will say, since we're talking about regulations, we interviewed Chris Henry. He's the division administrator for Pennsylvania with the FMCSA, and we did an interview with him. So we're going to cut to that real quick, and then come on back. We got a lot more to talk about.
I'm here with Chris with the FMCSA here at the Pennsylvania Truck Driving Competition. And Chris, tell me a little bit about FMCSA and the role here, especially at the competition.
Well, as you know, FMCSA's mission is to reduce commercial motor vehicle crashes, fatalities, injuries, property damage, and economic loss. So this is a wonderful event that the industry is holding here in the state of Pennsylvania today. And FMCSA's mission here today is to get out and get our message out, okay? The drivers here are the safe drivers. They're not the ones we're really worried about.
Exactly.
I have people throughout the state visiting companies with those drivers that we are concerned with right now.
Yep.
But the Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association has put on a great event here, and I'm really excited that they invited me to be able to meet and greet their drivers and the various companies throughout.
Yeah, especially saying thank you to the safe driver, because they have over a year, no accidents, safe driving, great records. So like you said, the best of the best are here, the companies that are pushing, pursuing. And just tell me a little bit about the FMCSA, what you do on a day-to-day basis, and how you help the industry, again, trying to keep drivers as safe as possible and fleets as safe as possible.
Sure. So, as you know, FMCSA, our headquarters is in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And the way we're set up is we have an office in all the states, District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico. So in Pennsylvania, I'm the division administrator. We're based out of New Cumberland, Pennsylvania. I'm in charge of everything FMCSA that occurs in Pennsylvania. So I have federal staff that will go out and do investigations. We have over $40 million in grants that we issue to state agencies and to state trucking schools who provide training to CDL drivers.
Yep.
With grant money that FMCSA provides. So in Pennsylvania, I'm responsible for over 73,000 companies.
Wow.
Over 500,000 drivers, hundreds and hundreds of hazardous material shippers, cargo tank manufacturers, and the list goes on.
Yes.
So our responsibility, you know, we're a small federal agency, but our force multiplier is our state partners.
Exactly.
So in Pennsylvania, we work very closely with the state police and the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission and hundreds of local officers as well, and the big cities, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, to help carry out our mission, which is reducing those crashes through compliance, education, and outreach.
Yep.
That's what we want to get our word out, who we are and what we do.
Awesome. And so what got you into the trucking industry? Were you a trucker before and worked your way to be a regulator, or how'd you get into it?
So I've been here for 36 years as of 2 days ago.
Nice, congrats. Congrats.
And I graduated college and they were hiring young people to be safety investigators.
Awesome.
So I started in Philadelphia at 711 Chestnut Street and I spent many years there, and I've also worked in Baltimore, Princeton, New Jersey, and Hartford, Connecticut. And I had a chance to come back home. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, so it was an opportunity to come back home and work in my home state. I've already come across a couple people at the meeting who remember me from visiting them 20 years ago.
Oh,
so,
yep. Hopefully it was a good meeting.
It was a good meeting, so.
Well, and tell me, I'm just curious, if you can, safety investigations, do you have any interesting memories, positive, negative, funny, you know, things that people try to do that, a little bit of no-nos?
Well, when you're a safety investigator, you're spending a lot of your time at different types of places.
Yes.
You may be in a corporate office in the big city on the 33rd floor one day, and then the next day you may be in a barn on a farm.
Yep.
So a couple funny stories would be more when you arrive, let's say, and I had a rooster come after me. I've had a goose come after me.
Been there.
No dogs or anything like that. All the animals were safe, and I was safe in the end. Nobody was injured. But you know, you come across some characters. I think people really do want to comply with the regulations. Yes. It makes good business sense. If your trucks are broken down and your drivers are over hours, you're probably not delivering your services or products. So it makes good sense to follow the rules.
Yes.
And to operate safely so you can operate profitably, right?
Exactly. And we at CNS, we're all about DOT compliance, following all the rules and regulations. And I know one of the things, I don't think Chris can talk about it, but like the new ventures that are starting up, helping companies stay in compliance with the regulations and then potentially getting quizzed down the road. I hope that regulation comes through. So again, teaching drivers, not just at their 1 year audit or 6 months or 18 months when they get their first audit, but we can teach them along the way as they start their company, what are the rules and regulations, how to stay safe, how to stay compliant, so they can start on the right foot and grow that company and succeed in the industry. And that's what we're looking for. So Chris, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us today, and hope for a fun event. Is there something specifically you're looking for with the drivers out there during the competition?
No, I wish them all the best, and I'm excited to see who the final winner is.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And as always, stay safe out there.
Entering Course A in the 3-axle division is Mike Case, representing Ward Transport and Logistics.
I'd like to thank the following sponsors: Dan Ross, Fulton Bank, Sheets, Great West Casualty Company, Walmart, Hauser's Truck Service, Peters Brothers Trucking, Chevron, CNS, NAPA, and Pilot Flying J. Thank you, sponsors.
Entering Course A in the straight truck division is David Perez, representing Walmart.
On Course B, in the flatbed class is Wade Fry from FedEx Freight. Good luck, Wade.
Entering Course A in the 3-axle division is Tyler Converse, representing XPO. We'd like everybody to be aware that CNS is live streaming this event, so you might want to check in. CNS is live streaming this event.
Looking for water.
You'll want to visit the ATA trailer, which is behind the white tents. It has a simulator in it, so you can pretend that you're driving. So find the ATA trailer and check it out.
What's that?
All right, we are back, and we just wanted to talk about scoring for this event. So behind us again is the driving course, and there's a lot of little tidbits in here. And of course, we have the expert who's been walking around all weekend, but he can talk about the scoring in just a second. But where you can go find the scores, you can go to pmta.org, and you'll see right there at the top will be a link to go check out the live scoring that's happening right now. And how the scoring is broken down. First, John, welcome.
Yeah.
John is our director of safety at PMTA, and the Truck Driving Championships is his complete wheelhouse.
Yeah.
He is kind of the staff liaison for the committee that puts the Truck Driving Championships on. So he does a lot of work for this event, and we're lucky to have him at PMTA.
I couldn't do it without the volunteers.
Yeah.
They are absolutely priceless.
They are.
There's so many out there. Do you know how many are out here volunteering?
We had over 200.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
200
Yeah,
drivers, 200 volunteers.
Between yesterday and today, it's incredible.
Yeah, we're lucky.
The response that we get, everybody comes up, what can I do? What can I do? That's the worst question you can ask. Because we'll put you to work.
Yeah, truly, truly.
Get your steps in today.
Yep, it's true. You will. So, like Luke said, on our website right now is at the top in the, kind of bar, main menu, I guess, at the top. It says TDC scoreboard. You can click on that. I want to say that this is not official scores. This is just for the course today. And part of it is also we don't want to give away who wins and, all of that stuff. We want it to be a big announcement tonight at the banquet. So, but John, explain to us a little bit about what they're being scored on and kind of the problems that they have to work through.
Well, I've walked around and I honestly don't understand them all either, but I can tell you that there's 6 different problems.
Okay.
When they go through, there are some that they have to keep moving forward. You'll see there's little pads.
Yes.
And they're marked 5 and 10. So wherever the tire hits is where what score they get. So they have a maximum of 50 points they can get.
And you're trying to gain points throughout the course.
You build points. So you start with 0, and each problem has its own points total. I don't know what the total is, but as you go through, as long as you don't hit any cones, if you hit a cone, you get deduction. If you don't blow the horn when it gets scored, you get deduction. If you walk out of the cab instead of 3 points, so there's a lot of things they have to remember to do in order to make sure they get all the points that they're supposed to.
And how much preparation do they have before coming out here?
Well, it depends on their company. Some of the companies have their own rodeo. Like Walmart runs their own rodeos regionally, and then they gather them together and put a team together. Other companies, it's on their own. The drivers, actually, I was talking to a driver last night from Pyle, Duie Pyle, and he went to New Jersey's TDC and competed, and Maryland, and so some of them go all over the place just for the practice.
But then they don't see this course, right?
Nope. No, it's this is put together on Thursday by our committee, and I don't know what I'm going to do if they leave.
Yeah, really.
I don't know anything
really.
about it.
And we put the word out yesterday. We have such a great TDC committee, and they have done this for so many years. And now they really have the process down. Here's the situation. A lot of them are at the stage of their career where they're retiring. So
we're losing 3.
We're losing 3. So if there are any people watching, any competitors that want to get involved on the other side of things, it could be really helpful in future years. We're putting the word out just to anybody that wants to help volunteer, become a part of the TDC committee here at PMTA. It is, you know, a great time to join because these guys can teach you everything you need to know, really, about it. And it's fun. They have a lot of fun.
So Dave Snyder from Ward Trucking was told, soak it all in, Dave, you're next. So he's in the middle of the course watching everything going on.
Yep.
So I said, Dave, we need you.
Yes,
Good.
we do. So anybody out there, if you are interested, we'll take you. And so I guess what I can take away from scoring as somebody that, you know, this is my first time actually here seeing this part. I last year had to leave before the actual truck driving championships. I only started PMTA for 5 days, so this big event, and I had to leave halfway through. But these drivers have exact points that they are trying to hit on the course, and they're trying to get as close but not touch, which is just like the
total opposite of what they do every day.
Yes,
They do every day.
and it takes like the most skill.
Yeah.
It's incredible what these drivers can do.
They have to have good depth perception and know the truck. And what's interesting is it's not the truck they drive every day.
Right, yes.
So they have to kind of figure it out as they go. And some of them are really good at it.
Yes, so, some of them are. It's impressive. It really is
Bryan
impressive.
Krol was our grand champion last year, and he's won in the past. Daryl Miller from Cope Salt. He won his class last year, and then he won his class at Nationals.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because I was asking him through the weekend. I said, Daryl, how you doing? Oh, I don't know. I'm really fluid, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, he's sitting in the banquet, and they say, and the winner is, and he sat there and went, yeah?
Yes.
You know, he's looking at his name tag.
So humble.
That was great.
He had no idea.
Well,
He's a
and that's
great
what's
guy.
interesting is, you know, this is a 3-part championship where if you don't, maybe you do bad today here, or there's a couple deductions, and you're like, it wasn't perfect, but man, I know I aced that written test, or I know that I did really good on the pre-trip. I found everything.
Exactly.
You can make up the points throughout. So it's all these points combined.
All encompassing.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you have a bad time in one spot, you can make it back up.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
don't give up.
Don't give up. Yeah, that is the message that I've really been telling these drivers is
anything's possible.
yes, a lot of them are thinking, oh, I did so bad on the test yesterday. I did, you know, whatever. That is okay. You know, you have a chance to make that up today. So you have to really stay on your A game through this whole weekend.
If you wander around, you can listen to the drivers. Man, I missed that one.
Yes.
Oh, I missed that one. You know, I just.
Oh, and then before the event started, the nerves that you can feel as they're just waiting, it's just like,
They were real quiet.
intense.
Yes, and that I don't think I expected coming into this as somebody like that has worked outside of the trucking industry before this. I didn't expect these drivers to take it as seriously as they do, and like you said, they're very nervous, very quiet. They take it very seriously.
I don't know if you were in the room with us before we started the test, but I always try to
Make some
make
jokes
some jokes in, like I said, welcome to Kilimanjaro or whatever the heck it's called here, you know. It just breaks the ice and settles them down a little bit.
Yes, for
That's
sure.
awesome.
It's important.
Somebody asked a question. You said no smart watches or cell phones. How about smart glasses? So when I was telling them this morning, I said, hey, no super secret spy stuff, you know, no glasses.
That's funny. That is funny.
It helps them calm down.
Yes,
and
it does.
There's drivers in the bullpen waiting their turn.
Yep.
No cell phones.
Nope.
They can't watch the live stream right now and see
Nope.
how people are doing.
Yeah.
They're allowed, before they go into bullpen, they're allowed to watch out here, though.
Oh, they are? Okay, good.
Yep.
And
if they're caught pacing things, though.
Not good. They go. Wow, interesting. Yeah, these guys, like I said, have a system that they use year after year, and they know the rules very well. So it's interesting.
Well, John, hey, thank you for letting
You
us
bet.
know about the scoring.
I think I have to go give out ice cream.
Getting an ice cream. I will say we are going to transition. We got to check out this really cool old truck, 1953
That's
Autocar.
great. We're going to be doing a Penn Trucks on that.
Oh, yes, yes.
Penn Trucks article.
So this is the 1953 A Duie Pyle, their truck. We'll roll that and take a quick break.
Got a cool vehicle back here to check out. All right, so here we have the 1953 Autocar. Oh, listen to that.
Power steered in this one.
Oh, I can imagine. My dad had a 1969 Land Cruiser, you know, old, you know, no automatic steering. It's the shifting that gets me.
Yeah, I'm not even going to shift this thing. I might mess around with it when we come out with it.
Yeah.
It's trucking. That's right.
This is trucking.
Oh, yeah.
Not a two-speed, is it?
No. With the duplex? Yeah, yeah. Nah, it's just a straight, I think it's just like a straight 5 in this one.
So you don't get to drive this often then?
It sits in a garage somewhere.
Yeah.
We had to go over to West Hampton. We keep it in our West Hampton, New Jersey terminal at the shop in one of the bays. It comes out for like parades, Christmas parades, those kinds of things. Total showpiece. But the other one that you saw the picture of, they have that one displayed right out in front of the company headquarters. They built like a patio to put it on right outside, and that's where that stays on display.
Awesome.
Very similar to this, a little prettier than this one actually. Yeah, when I started driving, we didn't have power steering.
Oh yeah.
Even in the 80s, we still had the trucks they started us out on working. You know, just old Mac with just no power steering, just big steering wheels like this.
So you don't get to drive this often then?
It sits in a garage somewhere.
Yep.
We had to go over to West Hampton. We keep it in our West Hampton, New Jersey terminal at the shop in one of the bays. It comes out for like parades, Christmas parades, those kinds of things. Total showpiece. But the other one that you saw the picture of, they have that one displayed right out in front of the company headquarters. They built like a patio to put it on right outside. And that's where that stays on display. So a lot of the old windshield wipers worked off of air. I'm not sure about this one.
Oh, okay.
Like even the old Macs, they were air operated, not electric.
Yeah, Bob said that he had a 61 Mac, I think he said.
Yeah. Even up to the 70s, they were still air operated, and then you would just increase the air to make them go faster.
Wow. All right, here we go. Going inside. Awesome. Well, thanks for the ride.
Oh, yeah, no, my pleasure.
Oh man, this was sweet. The truck smell, the old truck smell. It's got the insulation. He says that's from the old trucks. All right, so again, this is a 1953 Autocar. This truck, so Duie Pyle. This is Alexander Duie's Pyle, their trucking company. It's 100 years old as of April 1st. It's in celebration of their 100-year anniversary as a company. 4th generation family-owned company here in the area, and just absolutely fantastic. They showed off the truck, number 100, gave it to the owner of the company, and they're just super, super cool. And we got a little bit of a tour inside. So been a lot of fun here at Kalahari for the PA Truck Driving Championships for 2024. Looking forward to more coming down the road.
And we're back. You just heard from A Duie Pyle. Sounded like you got a pretty good ride in their truck.
Fantastic.
It is very cool the way that they bring the trucks into the banquet hall. And A Duie Pyle is celebrating their 100th anniversary this year, which is huge. To think of kind of a relatively small company being around for 100 years, it really is impressive.
4th generation, family owned.
Yep, very cool, very cool. So right now we're here with Mark Laurusevage. He is with Great West Casualty Company. And Mark has been involved with PMTA for about how long?
Oh, about 24 years.
24 years. And he is like a staple here at the Pennsylvania Truck Driving Championships. He is definitely my point of contact when I have a question because he knows all things and he has helped out for so long that he is one of those guys that this is just on repeat for him.
We pretend to know all these
Oh,
things.
stop. You do. What is it like to come back every year and see this kind of show? It gets bigger and bigger every year. What's it like?
Well, for a couple of things. First of all, I think the drivers that come back every year, that's the amazing part because really for them to qualify, the same driver to qualify over and over again is amazing. I mean, so you think about it, they have to be safety, they cannot be involved in any crashes. And I think for the 20-some years I've been doing, involved with the TDCs here, I'll bet you there's a handful of drivers that have been throughout them years, almost all of them.
Yeah.
So that says for all the years of safe driving, and that translates to no crashes on the highway, making our highway safer, society safer. So it has a lot of value in those things. Today, though, is about fun and competition for the drivers. So that's pretty much, why I look forward to coming back every year.
Yeah, that was a question I was going to ask. Why do you do this? Why do you step up every year and say, I want to help?
Well, I think we who have been in the industry a long time want to give back.
Yes.
And there's no better way. I mean, these drivers that you see here are some of the best ambassadors the trucking industry, not just in Pennsylvania, but in the United States have. So certainly we want to be here to support them and provide a venue.
Yeah.
As you can see, it takes not just a village to run something like this, but it takes a major city to run this.
Yes. It really is. And like I said, you have been involved in planning this event. And I mean, we really start after the last one's over. We have maybe a couple months off for summer, but that's it. Then you're right back in planning for the next year. And you have a big hand in planning the pre-trip inspection. So I know that happened yesterday. So it sounds like we can talk a little bit about this. We keep it under wraps, so the drivers don't know what to expect. But we placed some defect stickers, and tell me about how that works.
So drivers, just like, if they're going to be safe on the road, they have to have safe equipment. The law requires them to inspect their vehicle prior to going out, to taking it out on any public highway. The pre-trip portion of the contest or the competition is to test their ability on finding certain defects that have been preset on the vehicle, and they have a time limit, depending on the class that they're in. So the goal then is to challenge them with some more difficult inspection items, some out of service and some not, and that will determine what kind of score that they get in the end. Planning it is always a challenge because we have one day to set it up and then one day to take it down. So, but we do use real defects as well. You mentioned stickers a minute ago. The stickers that you're talking about are actual pictures of something.
Yes.
Whether it's a picture of, a weld or whatever, a crack in something, we use it so that the driver, when they see it, even though it's a sticker, they'll know what it's supposed to represent. It's more about them identifying where they're looking and what they're looking at. And then they call that out, and of course the other type of defects are we have a service truck here, and we'll use them for any actual mechanical defects. And then once the pre-trip competition's over on Friday, then we have everything reset back again, and of course the same equipment's then used here on the course.
Yeah, it is really just an incredible kind of everybody, all hands on deck to get it done in time for the competition. And I think drivers have been really receptive to it this year. I think a lot of them were tripped up by some of the defects yesterday.
Initially, I have not seen too many high scores. In fact, I don't think I saw any perfect scores.
Oh, really? Really?
So,
oh boy.
It was a tough one.
Okay,
But
it was a tough one.
Because as we say over there, this is not an Easter egg hunt for kids. I mean, this is the real deal, and these are the best of the best drivers.
Yeah, they are.
And they do a great job.
They are. They really are the best of the best. We have our administrative assistant, Michelle, here behind the camera doing some funky stuff. She's in a big red, white, and blue dress with a sparkly red, white, and blue cowboy hat. She is. People have really, shown out. Do you have a favorite memory or something from the past TDCs that you've been involved with?
Everyone I got memories of. And everyone is a favorite memory because everyone's different.
Yeah.
We have a different set of drivers. We have different volunteers. There's a lot of volunteers have been the same over the years too.
Yeah.
But everyone has its own special time, and in fact, it's special to every driver here. If we think about that, every one of them worked very hard to get here.
Yes.
And regardless of how they place as far as scoring, they all win. They make us a safer society, and everyone needs to be commended. So I can't single out one time that was better than the other. I mean, it kept getting better as we go.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about you, Mark. You work for Great West.
Correct.
How long have you been with them, and what do you do?
So I am a loss control or risk control person. So I go out and make sure that the companies that we are looking to insure or that we do insure are not doing anything bad, that they have good practices in place, and when they do have losses, kind of do an analysis and evaluate why did it happen and what are they doing to control that from happening again. In other words, we don't want them going out there doing things that kill people or hurt people.
Right.
But I've been in the trucking industry my entire life. Started as a driver actually back then at 16 years old here in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
They didn't have any classification system at that time.
Yep.
And so at 16, I was legal to drive a tractor trailer. And since I grew up in the 50 miles, well, not far from here, a lot of coal regions, and summer times I would be driving dump trucks and things like that.
Yep.
Later, I bought trucks. I had my own company for a number of years. I've been with Great West now, going on 19 years.
Wow, what a career! And
I'm curious too on that. So this is the Super Bowl of safety for trucking. What are some safety things that you look for at Great West? How the safety record that they build and grow over time, whether they're smaller companies, bigger companies. What is on the insurance side? What do you look for?
So as you know, insurance is about underwriting.
Yes.
And underwriting is pricing. And every insurer has their own guidelines that they follow.
Yep.
They will price it. Some companies like ours, we look for long-term partnerships. We're not the cheapest. We're not looking to be the Geico, and I'm nothing wrong with Geicos and all, but we don't look at trying to write everybody. What we want to do is try to find carriers that fit our appetite, our underwriting appetite, and then we want to help them. They're good carriers. We want to keep them good. Mm-hmm. So what are we looking for is what they're doing, what practices they have in place, because we know we have data. We collect data on everything. We have data, so much data, it's unbelievable.
It is.
And we use that data to develop resources for our insureds. Guys like me that go out, we talk about what they could do to become better, to not have those rear end crashes or those lane change crashes, even violations. SMS violations, if they're having a lot of them, why are they having a lot of them?
Exactly.
Always asking why and trying to figure out, and helping them to become better. So, yes, we're actually looking for carriers who are receptive to that kind of stuff. Not necessarily, they might have a good record SMS-wise or whatever. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're safe carriers.
Correct.
They might be lucky. They might whatever. We want to make sure that they have a solid base, and that it's not just one of these deals where, it's after it happens, something bad happens, then what do I do now?
Yeah.
Yes. And to add in on that real quick, if you're driving for any number of years, something bad is going to happen at some point. Some kind of issue was going to pop up, but that's why having the process or people around you to help improve that safety record over time, or find these issues that you have and be proactive in fixing it, or proactive in trying to prevent it, both ways. And that's why working with a company like CNS, where we help with DOT compliance, mock audits, helping you be proactive is our mantra. And when an issue happens, it's working with the government and the regulations. How can we work with this violation? How can we improve this moving forward, reducing fines, and then making sure insurance, when the renewal comes around, that it's not going to affect you too much, or the next renewal over, we can drop you back down and get that good safety record back going. And that's why, working with agents, where you can have, again, maybe it's not a best fit for this insurer, maybe it's another insurer. You got to find all these different groups out there, and we can help you with that with CNS Insurance. But yeah, so it's just really impressive, the whole insurance industry.
At the end of the day, what you're really looking for, what I look for, is culture.
Yes.
You can say one thing, you could say we're doing this or doing that, or you could have a policy book that's yes. on with a 5-inch binder. But at the end of the day, what is the culture? What do you allow? What are you willing to sacrifice to operate your company? Because it is a sacrifice. You're gonna risk something. There's no such thing as zero risk.
Yes.
So you're gonna have risk. It's about managing it, and really the people that have good cultures that emphasize safety are the ones that actually win at the end of the day.
Yep.
They're the most successful.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. When you guys are looking at a company from the insurance side, is being a member of PMTA or participating in something like this an important part of that kind of safety culture?
Well, I'll tell you that our company is involved with every state trucking association, and all the national associations, because we first of all understand that companies that do are safer. In fact, ATRI has a study that was done about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, that show that companies who are, the word is actively involved with their state trucking associations, are safer motor carriers, because they come out to events like this. They have their drivers involved with Driver of the Month, Driver of the Year. They do the TDCs. Their safety people are involved with the Safety Management Council. When you have people actively involved, always trying to get better, that kind of mindset, you're gonna have more successes. And we understand that. So one of the things that I've always asked is, are you a member of your state trucking association? And if it's no, why? Why not?
Interesting.
You need to be.
Yes.
And I'll give them reason after reason after reason. And so we do support it, and we push it a lot. And I'll say one more plug for Pennsylvania. PMTA is one of the best as far as actively involved with their membership and bringing the programs, I believe, make them safer. Safer carriers are more profitable. There's no doubt about it.
It's so true.
It costs them less to operate because they don't have as many crashes, they don't have as many violations roadside, they don't have those issues. Because all of those issues cost you more money, and it also costs you more in insurance.
Well, and you mentioned safety culture. Look behind us.
Yeah.
This is safety culture at work right here. And if you can see the families, the groups, the companies, the people that are back at home cheering on their drivers, like, all of this is safety culture. And I know at CNS, like, we have a laundry list of different services that we offer, but for PMTA members, it's usually not, hey, you're having issues, because they're the best of the best, the safest that are out there. And so we have a different conversation, a different type of way to work with companies. And that's what I like about coming here to this event, because it's just like, just seeing everybody smiling and happy and not worrying about the negative or the darker side almost to the trucking industry.
Yeah.
But,
I think that is one of my favorite parts of PMTA, and Mark, you might be able to speak on this a little bit too. You get to meet people in every part of the trucking industry. You guys, on the safety and compliance side, on the insurance side, with the carriers, with our state legislators, with Secretary Carroll that was just in this seat a moment ago, we find a way to bring everybody together, which I'm very appreciative of.
And it is, because again, it takes not just the drivers. The drivers are the key pieces of that, but in a trucking company, but all of the support that goes behind them to make all that happen. So it's amazing. It's a big thing, and that's why, again, it's so important that state trucking associations are the ones that are kind of leading the way, at least providing an opportunity for those motor carriers to be aware of what they need to do, and again, we support them all the time. We're always asking that question to join, the association, be actively involved in it.
Well, I don't have to do much plugging for PMTA because it seems like you just did it for me there, Mark.
You're doing a great job here,
Well, thank you so much for being on with us. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the work that you do for the TDCs, and we're just glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
And just for us, again, we're talking about the drivers. We want to celebrate the drivers, and we interviewed a lot of drivers. We had a group of Old Dominion drivers at a table having a fun conversation. Let's check it out and get their point of view of the truck driving championships. All right, we're here with many drivers from Old Dominion, and they just finished their pre-trip inspection, waiting. Can't talk about what you guys found, but at least to the people that haven't done it yet. But
we can say one thing: we did find defects.
Oh, there are defects during the pre-trip, so not just an easy ace for it. So tell me, how many times have you done this before? Or is this your first time at TDC?
No, this is my third time.
Third time.
Yes.
And what makes you nervous about this? The quiz, the test?
This is my first time. Yeah, it's a lot of the fear of the unknown,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Any nightmares at home? Are you thinking, like waking yourself up, or how is practice preparing for this?
We had great instructors to get us ready for this, and I'm happy for it. And shout out to Sam.
I'm curious, how long have you been driving?
I've been driving 20 years for Old Dominion.
Years. Gosh, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
It's awesome. No, again, things like this, keeping the economy running and keeping things, stocked is so important for what you guys do. So we thank you for that. I'm curious, Old Dominion, are you guys say local, regional? You guys long haul?
I'm a local driver.
Local driver?
Out of Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Awesome. Awesome.
I got 44 years of driving.
44 years. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Safe driving.
Safe driving. Well, that's the whole thing. You guys can't even compete unless you have at least a whole year, no accidents. Anything else?
Well, no accidents is for a whole year just to compete. It's amazing.
Just to compete, yeah.
It's amazing.
It is. All right, so we're going to start around here with you. Simple question. Favorite movie scene or movie with a semi-truck in it? What do you think of?
I'd say either like Knight Rider when the car's going in and out when Michael Knight's on a mission, or like some of the Fast and Furious scenes, which are so unrealistic, but see cars trying to hijack you, that's never going to happen in the real world. You're going to do whatever you can.
You don't have a shotgun in the truck?
No, I can't shoot a shotgun through the windshield.
So movie scene?
Black and white movies back in your day.
Yeah. I'd have to say Dole. The movie Dole.
Yeah. That is a good one.
Yeah, or BJ and the Bear.
I got to go with the classic Smokey and the Bandit. The scene where they're coming into the fairgrounds.
Yes.
Always wished I could drive my truck like that through there.
I like the opening scene of Convoy when they're in the desert and the Mac comes over the hill and he meets up with the Jaguar. That's a great scene.
Oh, yes. How about you?
I'm gonna go with Mad Max Thunderdome, Furiosa. Ooh, this is gonna wiping everyone out.
There it is. Well, there you have it. I said it was going to be quick and painless, so there you have it. Thank you guys for joining us, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Entering Course A in the step van division is Jody Kondrak, representing UPS. Entering Course A in the tank truck is Jeffrey Keller, representing ABF Freight.
Entering Course B in the 5-axle class is John Schwartz of FedEx Freight. Good luck, John.
Entering Course A in the step van division is Willie Hernandez, representing FedEx Ground.
On course B, in the 4-axle class, is Danny Rodriguez from FedEx Ground. Good luck, Danny.
Entering Course A in the tank truck division is Israel Rodriguez, representing Bison USA.
Entering course B is Michael Sins in the 5-axle class from Claypeck Trucking Company. Good luck, Michael.
All right, back here again, watching the trucks back here, and I've got my family here. I have Jonas and Skylar.
Hello. Hello.
And we're watching the trucking event, and we're here at Kalahari as well. Before we talk about the trucks, what do you guys think about the water slides?
It's amazing. Fun.
What was your favorite thing to do inside?
The wave pool.
The wave pool?
The huge slide.
What'd you say?
The family falls.
Oh, the family one with the falls. That was cool. All 4 of us going on there. And then, how was the lazy river?
I loved it. Good.
All right, so back behind us, we're just watching some trucks going along, and there's the orange cone behind us, and we just saw a truck bump into it. What do you think of the trucks out here?
They're really cool. Yeah. I'll try to root for Walmart.
Root for Walmart?
Yeah.
They're doing really good back there. They got a lot of drivers over here.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's backing up to that white gate. You see it back there?
Yeah.
So he's trying to get as close as he can to that white gate without hitting it. And we'll see how he does. We also have these so we have a different type of vehicle here.
Yeah, I like these little tiny FedEx trucks. They'll probably do really good since they don't have those huge cargo frames that turn.
The trailers, the long trailers.
Yeah. I don't think they could really lose that.
But again, he's going to try to get as close as he can, right? So let's see how he does. He doesn't have to turn as far around, right? But here he goes. He's going to get as close as he can to this orange cone. And let's see if he...
I think he could probably make it. Do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, so again, you're trying to get as close as you can. How close can you get?
That's too
closer.
close.
Closer. Come on, closer.
That's too close.
Closer.
That's very close.
Closer.
Oh, my God.
And they're measuring it on the tire there, sort of see how close he gets, how many points he gets.
Okay, that's pretty close. Cool.
Do you know how many drivers we have out here today?
How many?
There's over 200 drivers competing.
Wow.
Yeah, and
there'll be over 200 trucks? And they're all just competing in one little competition.
In one competition for Pennsylvania, the winners, there's 9 different categories, 9 different vehicles types out here that they're doing. Shorter trailers, long trailers, sleeper berths where you can sleep inside them. And they're testing all of these out. Now the FedEx truck is doing a backup, and he's going to try to get as close as he can to that white gate again.
Might bonk into
And who do you think the people are in yellow with the yellow vests? They're the volunteers. Yeah. They're the ones trying to help make sure everybody's safe, measuring how close things are getting. Here he goes. Here goes the smaller FedEx truck.
The twin contestants, please report to the ball.
Oh, well, let's see. He's got to get close to that white gate. Ready?
Oh, the
back white gate. Oh, he can go further and see how he does. He did a honk.
Is that how close he is?
I think that's as comfortable as he did. So they measured it.
I think that was a yard.
Yeah, you could have probably gotten a lot closer
Yeah,
there.
you could have gotten a little bit. A little bit shorter than
So you didn't get negative points, but you're trying to add points, get points up, and try to become the winner. And this is just a driving portion. There's inside yesterday, there was the written test, and then there was the pre-trip inspections. What they do is you want to try to find like cracks and broken things that are in the truck to not prevent or try to prevent any bad issues. What they do is they put stickers with cracks on them to show and signify, hey, find that crack.
So that's really funny. Like, did you see them do the writing test?
We watched them for real quick doing it. It's quiet inside. It's like a teacher exam at school.
Like PSSAs.
Yep. Are you guys at school anymore? Are you guys on break?
Yep. Yeah, break.
Summer vacation.
That's why we're at Kalahari. To also watch the trucks.
Yep.
And to have fun.
Well, hey, thank you so much for joining me and talking with me. I know we have a lot of other videos that drivers that we've interviewed. Actually, the one driver, I believe it's Bryan. Let's flip to that interview and see his perspective of the truck driving championships. I'm here with Bryan with Martin Brower. Bryan, you're a driver this year at the Truck Driving Championship. This is your first year? Are you a rookie, or how many times have you done this?
This will be my 7th year competing in
Seventh year. Yeah. And then you just got done with the pre-trip. How'd that feel?
Felt good. Felt good. A lot of them came out and popped out to me, so it was kind of good feeling, you know what I mean? So it kind of reminded me of last year a little bit, popping out for me. So
now, when you come, do you feel nervous? You have to get through that exam first?
I have nerves. Yeah, I have nerves from I would say probably the start of the week. You know what I mean? When it really starts bundling up. You know, so yeah.
Some dreams, nightmares, something popping up.
Yeah. Aspirations. Yeah.
So how do you prepare for TDC?
So I do a lot of practicing in our yard. So I usually bring a couple guys. We usually have 3 guys that usually come with us, and we do some practicing in the yard. So last Saturday we literally practiced from 6 a.m. in the morning to 5 o'clock at night. You know, just practice in the yard. We do run a pre-trip. Not so much on the test part, it's the written test part, but we do practice pre-trip, and then driving we set up different obstacles.
And the written exam, I'm curious. I haven't seen it. We're not allowed to, but is it safety regulations, or is it
so
also...
all questions come out of Facts for Drivers.
Okay. That's right, the book.
Yeah, so I recommend every driver to get it. It usually comes out in February every year, February, March, and get that book right away and start reading, you know what I mean? So fortunately, we're one of the later states, so you have time.
Yes.
But there's some states that are like within a month after getting the book, so you need to get that book and get the audio. I tell everybody to get the audio so you can listen to it, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah, both options.
Awesome. And so tomorrow, driving a portion of the course, what do you look forward to that? How does that feel for you?
So I just, I don't know, nerves obviously until I get on the course, you know, but I just kind of dissect every obstacle as one obstacle, and then you just don't, you know, when you don't know you possibly didn't score on one, don't let it beat you up because there's 5 more to go, you know. So,
So how long you been driving?
So I've been driving for 20 years. Yeah. So
Awesome.
I've been with Martin Brower for 18.
18?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome run there.
Yeah.
And what type of vehicle are you driving in? What are you competing category?
So I'm competing in sleeper.
Sweet.
Typically every day I drive a 5-axle. I did do sleeper, but I just got off the sleeper route. So now I typically drive a 5-axle every day.
Sweet. All right. So I usually ask a couple basic questions. I'm curious. Favorite trucking movie or trucking movie scene with a semi-truck in it?
I don't know. I'd have to go with probably just Transformers, you know?
Yeah, Optimus, right?
Yeah, you got to go with Optimus Prime. I mean, what else, you know what I mean? So.
All right, music? Is there a trucking song or music that?
Nah, usually like when I go to nationals and stuff, sometimes if you make it higher up, you know, they give you like a walkout song, you know? So I usually pick Eye of the Tiger, you know, from Rocky. I mean, what other thing, you know what I mean? So,
can't beat that.
Yeah.
All right, so favorite truck stop or somewhere to get food, or favorite truck stop?
I usually, if I do stop anywhere, I try to do Wawa or Sheetz.
Yes.
Yeah, and so it's my 2 things, you know what I mean? Obviously it depends if I'm, you know, where our base is at, it's all Wawa. And then where I go, Altoona area, that's all Sheetz, you know? So it just depends on where I'm heading, you know?
All right, how about model of a truck? Make model?
Nah, I've been driving company trucks forever, so, you know, I mean, it's like I don't have, I'm not big into, you know, this truck's cooler than that truck, you know what I mean? So whatever is comfortable.
Exactly.
I don't like Internationals and I don't like Max. So if it's a Volvo, Freightliner, Kenworth or something like that, I'm good, you know? So.
Sounds good. Hey, well, thank you so much and good luck with the competition.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Starting on course A in the step van division is Travis Neal, representing FedEx Ground. Winner in course B in the 4-axle division.
All right, we are back, and I've had an outfit change. I was getting cold, but the sun's coming back out. And whatever the clouds and sun want to do, the wind, it's a bit breezy.
It is.
Chilly.
It's really windy here. I had an outfit change. I just took my sweatshirt off, and now I'm kind of regretting that. So we'll see. It's like the clouds and then the sun, and then the clouds and the sun. So we'll see.
Well, then we had another outfit change. You were wearing yellow out there, right?
Yes, I was.
He was out on the course.
Yeah, I was out on the course. I've been wearing a yellow coat all day long. Trying to stay warm.
Yep.
It's nice up here. It is a nice day. The sun's shining, a lot of clouds, but with the wind, it gets chilly really quick.
Yes. So you're big man in charge this year. This is Mike Dare. He is the chairman of the TDC committee. So what has it been like for you this year?
There's just so many moving parts. I mean, you know, with the support that we have from the committees, the PMTA and the sponsors, you know, we have a great team that helps put this event together. But without the involvement, like I said, the committee and the PMTA, it wouldn't happen. So, you know, I'm actually part of a great team. Appreciate what everybody does, and it's a great event, man. We're having a great day today.
Yeah, we are.
Well,
we are
and
having a good day.
I think you just told me just before we came on, this is our second year at Kalahari. Gorgeous facility, great, the people around us helping us out. But you just said, how long are we going to be here for?
Yeah, we're locked into up until and including the year 2030.
Until 2030. We're not going to live stream till 2030, but we will be here at Kalahari, hopefully coming back too to help with this. But PMTA and the Truck Driving Championships, come out here next year if you want to come out here. It's not far away from Philly. It's nearby. Come check it out.
It's been really fun, and just to see everybody bring their families to watch the competitors is really special. I know your granddaughter is here, and she's having a blast. Every time I've seen her, she's exhausted, which just means she's having fun around Kalahari. So what has it been like for you this year to kind of step up and take that role as chairman? What are some of the things that you've had to do differently?
Not a lot. I mean, we've been, and I'm just being truthful about it.
Yep.
Due to the committee that's here every year, it's been like a plug and play kind of deal. I mean, everybody kind of knows the roles. We have a change here or there. My biggest focus has been getting new people involved in the committee, involved in the TDCs, because, you know, we are getting a little older, looking towards retirement. So trying to make sure that we have a turnovers to keep this going to 2030 and beyond.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is all about recognizing the truck drivers and their families. I mean, and that's something I opened up Friday with. Without our families, none of us would be here. You know? So we need that support. We need support from, you know, the companies as well.
Yep. So you're with FedEx.
FedEx Freight.
Tell me about how FedEx Freight has helped you guys get to this point, has supported you in your kind of volunteerism here with PMTA. What has it been like?
Yeah, FedEx Freight, so I'm a safety advisor for FedEx Freight. One thing they ask us to do is get involved with the committees like the Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association. So it's an honor to be able to do so because it does help promote our industry and everything, but it's also enjoyable to be able to do so. I've made so many friends of people that are outside the company of FedEx Freight, so it's nice every year to come here and catch up with people that I've met throughout the years.
Yeah, and that has been really fun too, seeing the drivers come back and they're like, oh, hey buddy, how are you? I haven't seen you in a year, you know? It is really special, and it makes me so happy to be a part of an organization like this. It's like summer camp for these guys, you know, seeing the friends that you haven't seen for a year. Luke has some kind of fun trucking questions that we're gonna put you on the spot with. So Luke, take it away.
First background question though, I'm curious, how long have you been in the industry? Have you driven?
Yeah, I've been in the industry 32 years. So I started in 1992 as an over-the-road truck driver. I'd gone to a truck driving school to get my CDL at the time. So, you know, I did multiple things. I drove over the road for about 2 years, and then I hauled with a private carrier. We hauled racehorses up and down the East Coast. A lot of it was to the breeding farms down in Ocala. We would take mares and foals down there. And then I moved into the LTL industry. It was about 95 I moved in there with a company that unfortunately is no longer around. I joined a company called American Freightways in the year 2000 as a city driver, which eventually has become FedEx Freight. So I was able to do that for 10 years as a city driver with them. Then I became a driver development instructor, instructing new people for about 5 years. The last year, pretty much most of that was training new driver development instructors for a company. So then in 2015, I moved into safety. So kind of lucky enough to have a lot of opportunities within the industry. When I came on board with American Freight, FedEx Freight, I thought I was a city driver for the rest of my life, and I was okay with doing that. But you know, they've given me the opportunity to grow within the company, so I appreciate that.
And then when you say city driving, I'm curious, what does that mean? Are we talking about small cities, or are we talking about big cities?
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's kind of funny. So my first city P&D, so city driver, he usually leaves in the morning with several stops to deliver, and then throughout the day and after emptying out, they'll make pickups and then return to the service center. So we're talking back in 1995. I mean, we don't have cell phones, we don't have maps, Google Maps or anything like that. My first city P&D run was downtown Philadelphia.
Wow.
So I was like, this is brutal, and it was brutal. But you know, it was a learning experience. I mean, you learn how to get through at that time, and you know, I was successful doing that. I was lucky. I mean, you know, I tell all our drivers, congratulations on getting here. You know, a lot of skill to get here. Take some luck though, too.
It does. It does. We talked about that a little bit, and I mean, you had a hand in all of the parts of TDC this year, including the design of the course. What these drivers are doing here, it's like, get as close as you can, but don't touch it. And that takes incredible skill that isn't normal. Typically it's like, you know, you're backing in somewhere and you just need to get it in straight or whatever. So it is different set of skills.
Well, we've gone from stay away from objects to getting as close as you possibly can to objects. So it is a different environment for the guys. But you know, the funny thing, and a buddy of mine always tells me, when you look at the TDCs, you know, we all have hobbies: fishing, golfing, hunting. There's a lot of guys here. This is their hobby. You know, they take it that seriously, and I'm glad they do, because you know, our winners today are going to have an opportunity to go to Indianapolis in August, represent our state, the industry, and the class they're in, to become national champions.
It's huge.
And then you help out here for a long time. Have you competed before at a truck driving championship?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I competed in 08 and 09, and I was lucky enough to do so. I had a lot of fun. The HEA has a rule that you can't have a preventable accident or a non-preventable accident in order to compete. So I really didn't know about it until, like I said, 08. I competed 08, 09. Or no, it was 07, 08. 09, I got a non-preventable accident. I hit a wire. So it took me out, and I was like, I'm good with it. We always have next year. Well, like I said, next year I became a driver development instructor, which just, you know, disqualified. I don't want to say disqualified, but it didn't. I wasn't qualified to be a part of it anymore. And the guy that beat me is here today. He beat me both years. Leo Flack, he ended up becoming a national grand champion.
National grand
It
champion.
gave me an introduction to Leo, which I'm glad I have that relationship with him up till and including today.
Yeah.
So he's
Leo's
still
a great
competing
guy.
today?
Huh?
He's still competing today, or is he
No,
just walking-
Leo's he's out on the course now.
helping?
He's part of the
Awesome.
road course committee. So
Yeah.
great guy. I love Leo.
Yep. Let's hear your fun questions.
All right, so
We've got
you've
some.
been in the industry for a while. I'm curious, favorite trucking movie or a movie scene with a semi-truck in it?
Probably, what was it, Smokey and the Bandit?
Smokey and the Bandit.
That's what
I think
everybody's
that's
saying
everybody's
today.
favorite,
Yep.
isn't it?
Convoy,
Yeah.
Yep.
so many.
I said Cars.
Yeah, I don't remember.
There-
I
there's
saw
a
Cars. but
semi
yeah.
in that.
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit.
That's all I know.
And then, do you have a favorite trucking song? There's a lot of them out there.
No, not really. I like older rock and roll, so
Yeah.
you know, if I was more in the country, I'm sure I would have a couple more, but I'm older rock and roll.
Okay. So that is your road trip music of choice.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know. All good to know. Well, thank you so much, Mike, for being with us and for all that you do here with TDCs. We could not do it without you, and we're so happy to have you as chairman this year. So thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Yes,
I'm glad
thank
you're
you.
here as well. Anything that we can do to promote the industry,
Exactly.
definitely appreciate it.
Exactly. And we're going to move on. Not just, there's all types of vehicles out here. You got short, you got long, but there's also diesel and EV, battery electric vehicles that are out here. And we interviewed John with Current, and there's a Freightliner e-Cascadia and a GM van, and some really cool information about how they help the industry with the transition to EV, or how companies can walk through that process. And so let's check that out.
Yeah.
All right, I am here with John with Current, and we're next to two EV vehicles, the e-Cascadia through Freightliner, and this is a GM, right?
This is a GM Bright Drop.
Oh man, so tell me a little bit about what you do, and tell me about the trucks and the vehicles.
Sure. So what I do is I present a turnkey solution for fleets of either diesel or gasoline to switch over to 100% electric, right? So by creating a turnkey solution, everything from the pole to handing the driver his keys.
Yep.
So separate metering systems, leasing, DC fast chargers installed in the ground, the appropriate amount, and maintenance, support, interop, everything a fleet would need to switch over to electric.
Right, so if I'm Walmart and I know, hey, let's say 2050, we want to get 20-30% of our fleet to be electric, how do you come in, how do you help walk through that process with them?
So first it starts with a plan.
Right.
What's the agenda? We have an engineering team that will build out and map exactly the power and the infrastructure that's needed to complete that task.
Yep.
Vehicle, honestly, is the last thing. It's the last piece of the puzzle, right? You need to make sure that you have enough power, that you can charge in time, that you find vehicles that can handle the payload, handle the distance, and have the safety features that you need. There's another part that our company does as well, which is we help the application and process of grants and incentives.
Yeah.
So as we know, with these electric vehicles, the price can, right, go up a little bit. So there are incentives out there, there are grants, there are federal, state, stackable, drayage. We specialize in helping that process just be a little bit smoother for fleets that like to transition.
Yeah, and that's not only getting grants for the vehicles themselves, but that's also for the charging for on-site, anything.
Exactly, yeah. It isn't just for vehicles.
Yep.
It is for charging itself. It is for infrastructure. There are incentives and grants out there that are here to help clean up the air, right?
Yep.
Help focus on sustainable energy, more efficient fleets. It isn't just about switching to electric. It is about being more efficient as well.
And I'm curious, part of the whole plan, I'm thinking charging, like the schedule of when these vehicles would need to charge. Okay, if a fleet needs 20 trucks, that doesn't mean they need 20 chargers, because they're not going to all be charging at the same time, right? So how is that plan worked out? Do you help with that planning process, or is that through them first?
So that is part of our planning process.
Okay.
So really, the goal with our company and what we do, we actually achieve this goal as well, is if you're a fleet owner, you don't have time. You're a logistics company. You don't have time to think about all this.
No.
So we do the thinking for you.
Yep.
You just keep doing your logistics, what you do best, right? Yep. And we make sure we present a profitable option for you that's not going to hurt the bank. And that's what we supply. We really do.
Awesome. All right, so last piece of the puzzle here is, of course, the vehicles. And we got two amazing vehicles here right now. Behind me is the E-Cascadia. Tell me a little bit about the vehicle.
Okay, so back to the beginning, 100% electric, right?
Yeah.
So these aren't hybrids, they aren't hydrogen, there's no diesel or fossil fuel function with them. This has dual axle. The motors are directly mounted to the rear hubs. Right. So there is not a transmission, there is not a drive shaft, there are not U-joints. The maintenance is just, it's barely there.
So simple,
right?
Yeah.
We don't even know when you change the brakes on these because there's a regen system.
Yep.
So regen, if you're not familiar, stands for just regenerative brakes. What it does is, instead of applying the brakes, you do what's called a one-pedal driving, where you modulate the throttle up and down.
Right.
So to react to a braking situation, you would release the throttle, and then it would put juice back in the battery.
Yep.
And there's not a fossil fuel vehicle out there that will put extra fuel back in your tank, where this does. All right. And this can drastically, especially with the 82,000 pounds it pulls, going down a hill can put a lot of juice back in that battery.
Exactly.
So, and I've seen it, in real life, in real process. So
that's awesome. So obviously the battery pack is underneath.
Correct.
Right. And so when we're thinking, okay, what's under the hood? Explain what's all going to be under the hood. What's needed for the rest of the truck?
Yeah. So we can backtrack too with the fact that the batteries are low.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is, because you don't have the weight of the engine up high, you have a low center of gravity, so it actually handles better than any vehicle you've driven as well. So so that low center of gravity, ice, snow, rain, cornering, weight distribution, the battery being low alone, that's a game changer.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a race car almost.
It's like, it really is. It is. I say golf cart, but it is more like a race car sometimes. I mean, this even has a performance mode that takes off like a Corvette. It really does. And that is the big difference between ICE vehicles and diesel. Diesel vehicles and electric vehicles is that there is more torque, and this does not slow down in hills. It just bolts right up a hill. So, but not the goal when you're driving. You really want to be as efficient as possible. But so under the hood, moving on from the battery, is coolant systems, say heater, air conditioning systems, and battery and drivetrain computer systems. So it's pretty hollow under there. Not much weight in the front there, so there's not much dipping when it comes to turning or you're hitting bumps. There's not a lot of big drops that it's coming there. The weight is very evenly distributed throughout that vehicle. It is one of the safest feeling vehicles that I've driven, okay? Among all the safety features that are compiled in that. And both of these vehicles are just loaded with safety features. And that really, it isn't so that the driver becomes dependent on the features, it's that it just all assists the driver in driving.
Exactly.
There are things that happen that our brains just don't pick up on as quickly, and we're hoping the computer systems will do that for us, really. A pedestrian, a ball running out in the street, right, is these have auto braking functions where they'll slam on the brakes and hopefully save a life. That's the goal.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you'll take me a ride in that one later today. I'm going to hold you to that. Now, tell me a little bit about the cargo van.
Yeah. So this is a General Motors bright drop vehicle. It is a step van. You'll notice just first for the drivers itself is a low step.
Yep.
This helps with these drivers coming in and out on a daily basis after every package.
Yeah, seriously.
Right? So handle here, jump seat, it's extra comfortable. Airbags in both systems on both passenger seat and driver's seat. This has an advanced technology package, which includes a spacing control, cruise control. So if there's a car in front of you and the car slows down, this vehicle automatically slows down. The car speeds up, the vehicle automatically speeds up. Kind of like a luxury car. It also has 360-degree cameras. The cameras connect so you can get a complete view of what's happening around you. Top down in front cameras, so you can see if there's anything close to your bumper, say a low, small human, right? And in the rear as well. So if you see anyone going to, it's more of a kind of like a theft prevention camera in that sense. The key is a proximity key, so this vehicle cannot go anywhere unless the key is in the vehicle.
Yep.
It will not go into drive unless you put the seatbelt in, so the driver has to have their seatbelt on. The safety features go on and on. This is a safety-filled vehicle. This is a P&D van that is checking all the boxes. I mean, just drivetrain alone with this low center of gravity. I've driven this in ice and snowstorms, and it is all-wheel drive, low center of gravity. One wheel slips, all other three are grabbing right into the ground.
It's awesome.
What also helps is this is a good country vehicle in that, like, some driveways are very steep and gravel, so you're delivering packages in an area like that. This doesn't have issues. It doesn't need to be towed out of the mud because it has great traction control and it doesn't get stuck. I mean, nothing's 100%, but it does a pretty good job.
Well, awesome. So thank you for walking through the vehicles here. Tell me a little bit more about how we can find you, Current, find more information, and if we're looking to help our fleet out.
If you go on the web, go to currenttrucking.com.
Okay.
That's where you'll find our link and our history and our founders and our team and what we do. And I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff I haven't mentioned here, but you'll find more data there. You know, we have a strong development team that can help from everything, not just logistics companies and fleets, but also drayage and ports and anywhere you have to switch a vehicle from diesel to electric.
Awesome. Well, thank you, John. That was John with Current. And for more information, you can also, we'll have everything linked down in the bio below, all the links that you want to need, and hopefully John's contact information as well. So with that, stay safe out there.
Entering course B in the 5-axle division is Tracy Meckley, representing R.H. Crawford.
So the driver will come out here, and as you see, there's scoring plates on the ground over there at the barrel.
Yep.
And what we'll do is we want to get the right rear tire of the vehicle to cross over the highest mark as is possible. And as you see, the marks go from 50 on the inside to 0 on the outside. And it's an 18-inch mark.
Wow, that 50 is impressively close. Look at that, you can see the tire marks on there too.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yep, so that's that 50 gives you 6 inches away from the inside tire mark.
6 inches.
And each one is a 3-inch increment after that for each 5 point less than the 50. And like I said, you're aiming for the right rear tire of the vehicle, and you cannot hit that orange barrel.
Yep.
So hit the orange barrel is also a 0. So let's, like I say, we'll go over the course here like this, and what we're going to do right now is
because we have a driver coming behind us. So we're going to go over here and get out of his way,
Yes,
so we
sir.
do not.
Because he'll have the backing up maneuver I see over there.
That'll be the backing maneuver after the right turn here. So he'll be coming around this right-hand turn. And as he comes around that right-hand turn, he cannot stop. He'll be going straight forward up here to the next location here. And then he will be setting himself up to go into the back and into the alley dock. Unfortunately, this driver here has zeroed the problem because this is a continuous motion problem, and you cannot stop at all.
And so he did a honk too, because is that he thinks it's.
He was, and this is a great example of not paying attention for the directions. Okay, he must have missed or got confused there, but yes, he had to keep moving at that location.
And there's 6 problems in this course, right? So there's a lot to think about. Steps for each section. And
William Giles, representing Old Dominion Freight Line.
Yes, at the same time, he has a lot to work on here and a lot to keep in mind. At the same time, trying to maximize his score so he can be the #1 driver in his class. So it is at times very, very, you know, he's got a lot on his plate, and he's got to keep it all into perspective here. As you see, he's backing into the alley dock right now.
Yep.
And hopefully he's going to get within a good measurement there. And what we should do is let's see if we can get over here quick. I don't think we're going to get over here quick enough to do this. Take notice.
We want to remind everyone that
Take notice, this is the back of the alley dock. So when he comes through here, okay, he's backing up. He wants the back of that tractor trailer to get as close to that barricade as possible. Same measurements as you saw on the right turn plate, 50, 45,
6 okay.
down there. But he cannot hit any of these barricades. He can't hit the side barricades. He can't hit the rear barricades. And when the driver, he'll again, at this point here, when he stops, he'll blow his horn and request a measurement. And then that gentleman there with that stick will put the stick out there and measure the distance between the back of the vehicle and the barricade. I helped you, buddy. I helped you. I helped you. I helped you.
I pointed at it twice.
I
have it in the video.
Did you see how close this house was? Or what?
If you were parked there, I would have got around it easy because I had that factored in. I would have straightened out. Thanks, Bob.
He gets more deductions for that comment right there.
Yes. So as you leave the alley dock, as we're leaving the alley dock here, as we move up here to the 5th problem, as you see, it's a straight line, and then we have 5 scoring plates here. These 5 scoring plates now are 5s and 10s, maximum 50 points per problem again.
Yep.
But now, if you're taking the inside tires, you want to get as close to that 10 and run over the 10 plate as possible here.
Yep.
And if you get 5 10s, that will be your 50, or you can mix and match there, 5s and 10s, and your total score will be your total score, of course. And then also, when you're coming in there, if you would miss the plate, it would be a 0. If you hit the cone, it would be a 0 also.
Yep.
Okay. Which takes us to our last problem, which is a front stop. Okay, we want to know where in this front stop is demonstrating where your front of the vehicle will stop at a stop line, stop sign in the street, and also you want to be centered in that street. So you want to be centered, so it's showing you a middle of a program there, so you can see the different programs there, the colors, and what we do, continuous motion up to the end, and we get to the stop, and we're going to stop, blow our horn, and this set the brake, and this gentleman up here is going to come up here and give us this measurement. What do we get?
Oh, he's a pro. He's a pro.
We got it, sir.
It was a test.
So after that, you would set the brakes normally. We would set the brakes there normally, and with the driver would get out of the truck, take off, and then we would driver would then take the course, and one of our jockeys would take care of the truck from there.
Awesome.
In the 4-axle division is Ewell of H.R. And he drives for FedEx Freight. Good luck, Eduardo.
Starting course A in the step van division is Daniel Romanek, representing FedEx Ground.
All right, we are back, and there is so many companies here competing, and one of the companies, we got the representatives here, is Walmart.
Well, thank you for having us.
Oh, glad to have you, and I'm curious, first off, how many drivers are out here competing, representing Walmart?
We have 28 drivers from 4 divisions of Walmart located across the state of Pennsylvania. We have Pottsville, Pennsylvania, we have Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania, we have
Bedford, Pennsylvania, and Woodland, Pennsylvania.
And let the audience know your names, what you guys do at Walmart.
Lori Feathers, I'm the General Transportation Manager out of the Bedford, Pennsylvania, DC.
Ron LaFlame, General Transportation Manager of the Pottsville, Pennsylvania, DC.
And so how long have you been involved in the trucking industry? Do you have driving experience?
I'll let you go first.
I have been involved in the industry with Walmart for 26 years now. And not a truck driver myself, but happily married to a truck driver.
There you go.
I have 30 years in the industry and 8 years, almost 9 years now with Walmart. As far as being part of the championship like this, I've done 3 different states. Pennsylvania is the one I've done most frequently, and this one right here is by far one of the best in the industry. Over 200 drivers competing today. It is a great event, really great event.
And have you competed before? Or
No. we in one state we did Maine. We did the transportation managers did run the course. Oh yeah, they get to do it, and that didn't end well. So I decided, I'm not going to do a truck driving career. I'll work with drivers, but I can't be one.
Yep. So we heard a lot about a lot of preparation involved for these drivers coming out here. Again, there's the written exam, there's the pre-trip inspection, finding things, and then the course. And I've heard drivers saying they've done 50 hours prepping or more. What kind of prep do the drivers do through Walmart?
Well, we do set up a practice course. Drivers can't be paid to do it. They have to do volunteer time on it.
Yep.
But we do different problems, and you're hoping to get some of the similar problems to help set them up and understanding the logic behind in this problem. If I try and get 50, 50, 50, it's going to have to be a perfect run. Try and score 30 points per, that puts you 180 points. And some of our new drivers, we have actually about, I think it's 16 drivers competing this year that are all rookies. They've never done one of these professionally. So it's an exciting time to be part of this. Having so many rookies is really cool because they come to the Kalahari, they don't know what to expect, and they have such a great experience. They're like, wow, the rooms, the event. Last night we took out 65 people for dinner. Yeah, we went to the Italian Sortino's.
Yep.
Food is actually amazing. Recommend you try it out. But their wives come, their children come, and it's really a family event, and you get to see other drivers. The camaraderie has been amazing.
The camaraderie is great between the teams. Even drivers that come here every year, the ones that compete, they meet up with old friends and kind of have that banter back and forth. It's great. Best event ever.
And is there some teasing going on? Is there like, hey, I'm going to do better than you?
Well, here's the 2 biggest teasers
Oh,
probably with Walmart.
yeah. Oh, God, yes. When her drivers come into my location, I'll give them my hat sent to say Pottsville.
Yep.
Hey, make sure you go see Lori. She'll go into the office, and what do you tell them?
I say, first of all, get that Pottsville hat off. Here's a Bedford hat.
Oh, yeah. And you want that. You want you to have that camaraderie, but you will also see people I haven't seen since last year here from UPS or from Old Dominion. And you want that camaraderie because when it comes time down to it, safety doesn't matter what uniform you wear. And this is all about safety. These drivers don't get here unless they've had a year of perfect driving. So it's really a great event. And we also try and poach drivers from each other going, hey, I was trying to poach a driver from one company, and he's got 25 years. I'm like, yeah, I can't get you. He goes, why not? I said, I can't offer you a good schedule. I'm going to offer you what I got. I said, you're top dog over there. He said, I'm number 3.
Oh,
yeah, you're right. Okay, you're not coming over to Walmart, but it's fun. The managers do it. They'll try and do it to our drivers. It is a great industry. It's fun.
It's fun. It is great.
And I'm curious about driving culture. This is there's so much happening here. This is sort of safety culture, driving culture out here. Tell me a little bit how you guys build safety culture and driver culture at Walmart.
Wow. I'll start. As far as we do a lot of observations of drivers, so everything's preached about safety. Do your 360. When you get someplace, don't back up until you've done your walk around.
Yeah.
Get out and look at every obstacle around you. And then we'll actually do random observations of drivers, whether we're at the store, at the DC, or we can also do CCTV closed circuit. So we pull up a store and watch who ever did that store that day. And the drivers that don't do the stuff, we bring them back in, we work with them. Our drivers less than 3 years, how do you handle yours, less than 3 years?
So we do more focused observations on them to make sure they're kind of starting out the gate the way we want them to start out the gate.
We reward them. I give little Hershey bars with wrappers on them. Hey, you did a 360. I watched you. Great job. And just kind of encourage that safety environment. And they get it. They understand it. They want to be safe, right? No one wakes up today and says, hey, I'm going to have an accident. So just encourage it. Right. Reward it and encourage it.
And then we'll do like safety cookouts every quarter.
Yes.
And the drivers love that. That's one thing we tell our drivers. First year here, you're going to gain 15 pounds. Because we do like to celebrate it with food. Drivers like to eat.
Yes.
And we like to go ahead and provide it. It's a good time.
And the best time is when we are those cookouts, we're cooking.
Yeah.
You know, I'm at the grill serving. How do you want your steak? And
Yep.
just the best conversations, the best safety conversations when you're in that environment,
Yes.
right? Not when they're driving down the road. It's just when you're there talking and talk about it. It's great.
I couldn't do their job because I couldn't. Somebody tell me I'm number one every day. They get it every day out there, and it's really tough environment. I'm really proud of like everybody here today. Every company here, it's the best of their best.
Exactly.
So no matter whether you do really well or not, you're surrounded by the best drivers in the state of Pennsylvania. And if you get a chance to go on to nationals, that's even tougher. You're surrounded by the best drivers in the country. Even if there's 45 people in your category, if you score 25, you're like, whoa, okay, I'm sorry I let you down. No, you did. We're here in Indianapolis, or wherever we're going to do these things at. It's kind of an all expenses paid vacation in some sense for these drivers and the family. So, thank you. I really didn't want to do this, I'll be honest, but thank you for pulling us over, because once you start talking about it,
oh yes,
the pride. There's some pride. Actually, that's the guy I was trying to recruit right there. Yeah, him. So.
No, and it is fun. I'm excited to be able to be here to help again push this content out here to show, like, look, the trucking industry sometimes maybe they get a bad reputation, or that people don't understand like what it is, what it takes, and again how safe and competitive and just fun that the atmosphere is around here. I am curious, so CNS Driver Training Center, we have a CDL school, and we help do some CDL testing for one of the Walmart branches. I believe it's the Delaware branch.
Yep.
And I'm curious, what's the onboarding process, or like if trying to help people get a CDL, and how's that process work within the company?
Well, we actually are doing a new associate to driver program.
Yep.
It's an application process, an interview process, and once you're selected, then you have to show up with your CDL permit first, and then after that we give you 13 weeks of onboarding to pass your CDL.
Yep.
And then when they get to us at the local office, it's anywhere from a 12 to 15 week program, depending upon how they come along. They're riding with another driver, a certified driver trainer. So each location works with their territory, what they're going to drive. Like for me, when we first were into the program, they said 10 weeks will be good to go. And I'm like, this is our safety program. In 10 weeks, how many miles they've driven, what type of stores have they gone to.
Yes.
Trying to get the variety of experience, because everybody knows like I can drive straight. Straight's easy, okay? Yeah. But can you drive straight and now take the turns? And how do you read your map? How do you prepare yourself? Because these don't react like a car. You have to be ready for that sharp turn. You've gone with a ride with your husband before, right?
I absolutely have gone with my husband before, and it is a very different world. People don't realize what's involved behind the wheel of that truck.
Yes.
80,000 pounds behind you. Everyone's in a hurry to beat the truck, right? You're kind of down the road. I got to get in front of the truck. They're exiting. We got to get in front of the truck, and they just can't stop on a dime or swerve over on a dime. And I do feel for drivers. It is a wild world out there for them.
Well, and then, you know, especially if you're owning a company and things like that, the regulations that they have to think about and remember, the pre-trip inspection out here, I mean, they're hiding some pretty darn good little cracks and things
really
like
are.
that. And, I mean, everyday driving, you got to do a pre-trip, post-trip inspection, and, you know, it's a violation sometimes if they you get pulled over. It's costly, and you got to do a good job at it.
The tough part about today, they're pre-tripping equipment they've never seen before. Exactly. Their drivers going up and this is a Volvo, I've never pre-tripped. Where's the hood latch?
Yep.
And they really understand the challenges, and it's so nice to see how they set us up, focus on safety, safety, safety.
Yes.
And there's so much pride when drivers get here. One of our best drivers who's won national before, he hasn't been eligible for 3 years because somebody hit him.
Yep.
And the appeal
Not
process.
his fault.
No, nothing he was doing wrong. One was somebody just cut out, and we have the video to show. And that's the other thing. Our industry's changed so much. Camera footage changes everything now.
Oh, insurance, litigation.
Oh gosh, yes. Oh my goodness, it's such the evolving industry. Having done this for 30 years, I remember it was paper logs.
Yep.
Oh my God, that was crazy back. Now it's all about, hey, what do you have to run legally? No more of this. All right, you get a beep beep, you get to be shut down. So, now how long you been in the industry?
So I've been, like, my grandpa drove, I'm from Oregon on the West Coast, so he would drive from California, like fruit trucks and stuff, up to Canada and do the I-5 route all the time. And I've been doing sort of the DOT regulations. I write hundreds of articles in front of the camera. I've been doing this for almost 10 years now.
Oh, dang.
And so involved that way. I don't have my CDL yet. One of the things that we're thinking about is, hey, maybe during the summer or something, we have a CDL school, go through that, get my CDL and walk through that process on camera. It'd be pretty fun.
That really would, and it would help show people that the difficulties. I mean, everything we receive in our homes, it came by truck.
Yes.
People do not understand the magnitude, like you were saying, that 80,000 pounds and everything with these buttons, the water, the glasses, have all come by truck.
Yes.
People do not respect the truck industry enough for what it does and how important it is. Oh, these are just dumb truck drivers. No, they're not.
No.
These are people that have pride in the industry and really pride in what they do every single day.
Yeah, and I can't even, like, when COVID hit and the pandemic and the shortage of everything, and it was the drivers that had to deal with it and get out there and continue moving stuff over and over and over and over. It's just insane.
And it was funny because when you go into stores, like our drivers do multiple deliveries each day. And trying to keep them safe.
Yes.
And we actually still had drivers that were training drivers, so now you're sharing your truck with somebody.
Yep.
And everybody's like, that 6 foot rule. This is not
your
6 feet.
family now. Like,
Exactly. And it was something that really educated a lot of us to the industry as a whole. How do we keep our drivers safe?
Yes.
So, but thank you for this opportunity.
All right, quick last
Okay.
questions, just fun ones. So I have a podcast, Caution Wide Right, where we do these interviews, and some of the fun questions I like to ask: favorite trucking movie or movie scene that involves a semi truck?
Oh,
new movies.
The Stephen King one with the thing.
Maximum Overdrive.
Maximum Overdrive.
You know, that was a great one too.
Great movie.
But you gotta go with Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
That's the old classic. Okay, when Smokey's talking, then and you just love that movie. So.
Yep.
But what's your favorite movie?
Honestly, I always go to sort of I think of Matrix 2 when they're doing the battle scenes on top of the semis.
Oh, I wouldn't even think of that one. That's a great one.
Die Hard 4 with the I think it was the F-35 aircraft, and I think Bruce Willis is driving the semi, and it gets shot in half, and then he jumps on there and takes the ridiculous, but it's just I don't know. There's so many fun ways that the industry is represented, and a lot of cool, interesting '80s movies, but it doesn't show the industry how it is today. And
it would be interesting if they bring something like an Eastbound and Down.
Exactly.
You have to interview that man next, right there.
Right there.
We'll bring him over. I'll cut this one real quick. Thank you again for joining us.
Very well.
Thank you.
And continue, follow us, like, subscribe, comment, and let us know what you think about the industry. And again, how long you've been driving, if you're looking to get in the industry, maybe Walmart's a place to go. Check them out online, and we'll go back to the competition.
All right. Good luck to the drivers out there.
Thank you.
Entering Course A in the tank truck division is Albert Peffenfinger, representing the Giant Company.
from FedEx Ground. Good luck, Mario.
Starting in Course A in the step van division is Hector Santiago, representing FedEx Ground.
On Course B in the 5-axle class is Tim Mashak from Upstate Niagara Cooperative. Good luck, Tim.
And entering Course A in the tank truck division is Freddie Lawson, representing UPS.
just grazed it. All right, hey, stay there with them. I'll be right back.
Entering course B in the 4-axle class is Tom Allison, who drives for Walmart. Good luck, Tom.
And starting course A in the step van division is Tito Guerra-Levy, representing FedEx Ground.
All right, welcome back. 2024 PA Truck Driving Championships brought to you by PMTA. And you know what? The head of PMTA is here.
Woohoo!
So happy to be here.
Rebecca Oyler,
Yeah.
President and CEO.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on this year's competition so
well,
far?
This is the biggest day of the year for PMTA out here on the course. It's like we say, the Super Bowl for trucking.
Yes.
It's been so exciting, and we've been lucky. The weather's been beautiful,
Yes.
save for challenging wind here today,
Yeah.
which has been tough on some of the tents.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we've been getting through the course and having a great day out here. Been people watching, and we're having a lot of fun. And I know the drivers are doing really well, so
Yeah.
we're excited to be here.
One of the things that somebody said to me, we were talking yesterday, just about having this event at Kalahari, and we've been here, 3 years
Yeah.
now, I think 3,
Yeah.
and then we have signed a contract with them until 2030. So
Yeah.
it's very exciting that we get to come back here. It's a great venue for families, but people say, because we've been here now year after year, every event just gets better and
Yeah.
better and better.
A little bit better every year.
And it
Yeah.
is like the drivers, I think, are more comfortable walking in because they know what to expect. Our team is more comfortable because they know the layout, they know where our storage is going to be and what goes where. And so I think it's been great.
And the Kalahari team too knows what to expect, and they're great to work with all the equipment. Of course, we have a lot of heavy duty equipment here and using the parking lots. And I know, Megan, you filmed a video last night of the trucks driving into the conference center, for display night tonight for the banquet. And, just working with the conference center here to get the equipment on site and everything, it gets a little easier every year.
Yeah,
So
we've been lucky.
Really great.
We
yeah.
have. So Rebecca is my boss. I'm the Director of Communications at the Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association. Luke is with CNS Companies. They are our media sponsor for TDC, and we're so excited to have them here.
Thank you, Luke.
It has been really interesting too to see how our culture of safety that we're trying to promote and all of that really ties into what CNS is doing.
Yep.
So it has been a great partnership. we're excited to have you here with us.
And we're glad to be here. I mean, what's fun for me is just seeing all these faces, all these names, and you know a lot of these people out here as well. Do you want to do a couple of shout outs? I know they're around, but what are some of the names, representatives of these companies that you can just think of?
Well, I mean, I don't want to leave anyone out, but I will call out, like, we have a TDC committee that works for the entire year. This year, the chairman is Mike Dare of FedEx Freight, who has just been amazing, and the entire committee works hard. We have several committees, subcommittees within the committee. We have, committees that work on every aspect of this event, and we absolutely could not do it without all of their hard work and time. Lots of time goes into planning something like this. So every little detail, the committee has meetings throughout the entire year to go through every single detail to make sure it runs without a hitch. And we have a lot of sponsors that pony up a lot of support for us every year too. So we're very thankful to every single one of the sponsors and all the companies that are here to support their drivers. So all of them.
Sherwin-Williams is our title sponsor this year, and I've been trying to track John down. I said I wanted to do an interview with him, and he has stayed far away from me since then. So, okay, John, I'm coming to find you. But we are very fortunate at PMTA. And Rebecca, your background is really in government relations, which I think has brought an interesting component to PMTA. That has been a big focus of yours, obviously. So tell us a little bit about some of the big initiatives that we're working on right now.
Sure. So lots of big initiatives right now. We had PennDOT Secretary Mike Carroll, who I know you had as a guest on this morning, and we've been working with PennDOT for about 2 years now on truck parking, which I think everybody knows is a crisis in the industry. There's just simply not enough truck parking spaces available across the whole country. There's one parking space for every 11 drivers in the country. So we know that's a huge problem. Last year we went to PennDOT. They have a committee that does studies for the transportation industry every year, and we said, hey, can we really take a close look at parking in the Commonwealth? And they've done studies before on parking that have documented the shortage, but this time we said, okay, this time we want to study more than just the fact there's a shortage. We want to actually talk about solutions. So they came out with a truck parking study late last year, which we're really excited about, which actually has specific solutions proposed. So I am part of that truck parking task force right now that's working through those solutions. So I'm trying to get some funding and some actual solutions on the ground that's going to build truck parking capacity, which is what we need. So I'm really excited about that. That's one of the big initiatives we have going on right now. So
and then
highlight that.
You and I were kind of talking about this earlier, and there's no real quick way to talk about this, Luke. So I'm sorry if we talk about this for the next 40 minutes till we end our live stream. But one of the big things that we've been working on is we sued the DEP in Pennsylvania over CARB regulations being implemented in our state, which is, California regulations pertaining to electric vehicles, and how that enforcement is kind of happening in our state when those are California regulations. So anyways, tell us a little bit about what that kind of conversation has been like. What is the impact that CARB would have on our Pennsylvania companies?
Sure. So the California Air Resources Board has regulations specific to truck emissions. And Pennsylvania since 2002 has been part of those California regulations. So at the federal level, the Clean Air Act actually gives states the choice of whether they go along with the EPA rules or the California rules. And since, like I said, since 2022, since 2002, we've gone along with the CARB rules. And that hasn't really been too much of a problem until just recently, because CARB has really gone off the deep end with some of the extreme regulations that they have related to emissions, and separately electric mandates. So these emission standards, we believe that are going into effect in 2027 are, and some that went into effect in 2025 as well, are not appropriate for Pennsylvania because they're very strict. They're going to be expensive for companies to implement because the trucks are going to be more expensive, and they have a lot more expensive, and they have strict emissions standards and also very strict warranty requirements. So you're
Right.
required to purchase an extended warranty on these trucks, which we don't think is necessarily appropriate for Pennsylvania companies. So we've been arguing in court that regulations that are in effect in Pennsylvania should really be put into effect by Pennsylvania regulators and Pennsylvania lawmakers.
Yes.
So outsourcing our regulations to California is unconstitutional. California bureaucrats, effectively. So that's the argument we've been making in court. We just had a hearing the other day in the statewide Commonwealth Court on the state's preliminary objections, and we're hoping that they will decide to let the case continue so we can make the arguments about the constitutionality of that moving forward.
And if that work goes through, then you would be not held to CARB from California regulations, which again, that was because the smog in LA and all that stuff, they were given special authority to be able, like there's the federal emission rules, and then there's California got extra special way to be able to do it and be a little bit more strict. So you would be going from there to back to the federal rules, and even those rules are getting pretty strict right now.
They are, yeah.
Is there continued conversation around that as well?
Yeah, definitely. At the federal level, I know, I mean, we're members of the American Trucking Associations, and I know they work very closely with EPA and a lot of the organizations at the federal level to talk to the regulating agencies and legislators as well to make it clear what the impact is on the industry of regulations that are, you know, a bit of a stretch. And especially this is a concern for us with electric mandates, because there are in these future regulations that are coming at the CARB and at the federal level, increasing percentages of electric or non-emissions trucks that are required. And we just want to be sure that the regulators and legislators at the state and federal level realize that those mandates aren't realistic without infrastructure, without funding, without all of the things that need to come along with that move toward electric.
Yeah.
And we're very concerned about that. So we're really making a case for that at both the state and federal level.
And one of the things that we have also been talking about is there are other options for
Yes.
fleets to kind of clean up their diesel emissions. And even the trucking industry as a whole has really, in their vehicles, cleaned up since, what's the stat, 2008, I think, or 1980 something? I don't know. You know it better than me, I think.
Yeah,
60% cleaner today.
Well, 60 trucks today have the same emissions as one truck from 1988. And emissions are down 99% in new clean diesel trucks within the past couple of decades. So even new diesel trucks are worlds cleaner than they were just a couple of decades ago. And when we talk about clean trucking, diesel needs to be a part of that picture too, because it is very, very near zero clean nowadays.
Yeah, and it's all about options. I mean, when we're talking about this, it's forcing, a lot of it's forcing into the EV or other things really, really, really fast. And you know, if it was a slower pace, and again, with more options in there, there's alternative fuels, LNG, CNG, and so much more. Just making sure that every aspect from clean diesel all the way across, that it's open and that there's choices and that they're not hell-bent on one specific process there. And it's, again, like you said, it's expensive to transition and trying to do that more smoothly.
That's exactly right. It's all about options, because electric is absolutely appropriate for some situations, some companies. There's no doubt about that. It's a good option. And some of those other options are more appropriate for other companies and other, other uses in the industry, but we want to preserve the choice, is exactly the point. So we want those companies involved in making those purchasing decisions to be able to have the choice. So mandates are a concern.
Yeah, very interesting, this whole CARB conversation. I know both of us are relatively new to the trucking industry. I've said on this live feed today probably about 6 times that I started at PMTA just a couple days before the event last year. So it's been interesting this year coming back and seeing it all in its full glory and understanding now and being a part of that planning process. What has it been like for you to be a part of this industry and kind of have to jump in and learn everything all at once?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. So, I was new to the trucking industry too, just just over 3 years ago when I started with PMTA. But I really love it here, and I kind of found a home, and I just love it. And maybe that's because in the past, I have a background in small business. I grew up in my family's small business in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And I also worked for the National Federation of Independent Business for a few years, which works just for small businesses. That's what they do, is advocate for small businesses. So as we know, 96% of trucking companies are small businesses with less than 10 trucks.
Yep.
So I feel like it was an easy transition for me to find myself in that world of small businesses that just happen to be trucking companies.
Yeah.
So learning a lot about transportation and a lot about trucking specifically, which is, we like to say, the second most regulated industry in the country.
Seriously.
After healthcare, probably. So there's a lot to learn, as you both know. But I feel like, sometimes I feel like I'm kind of just wearing the white hat because we're out there fighting for an industry that really holds our entire country together, our whole economy. And I think after the pandemic, people understand that now.
Yeah.
So we're out there wearing the white hat for the trucking industry.
Yeah.
So.
And it's all about, making sure that just fairness for truckers and companies, small companies, large companies, medium-sized companies, everyone out there. There is so many rules and regulations where it's unfair. And companies need to be profitable. They need to run their business well. And again, having choices. And I love state organizations like PMTA where they can be involved in that process, legislative process, and then pushing the word out about all the cool, amazing stuff that this industry has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could definitely talk about this, but so could you. What are some of the events and things that PMTA has coming up soon?
We got a lot of stuff going on. So our next big event, I guess, is Safety Day, which is in October, and that is the day where we have an entire day just to talk about safety in the industry, some of the products, the new new things that are coming out in safety. We have a lot of safety directors and the professional staff that's involved specifically in safety and trucking, and so that's our next big event. We just got through our annual membership conference for all of our members a couple weeks ago. And we got a lot of stuff going on throughout the year. Monthly we have a Safety Management Council meeting. And all of our members are welcome to join that as well. And I'm sure I'm forgetting something else right now.
We have PMTA on the road coming up. So if anybody is tuning into this and you are near the Pittsburgh area, that would be a great event to attend.
Yes.
Just to kind of get to know us as an organization. We are hoping that we can bring all of our staff members out there that day. We'll see what things are like in the office if we're able to successfully do that. But we think that'll be a great opportunity to get to know us, get to know the services that we can provide to companies, and PMTA on the road. I'm very excited about it. It's on our website. That'll be I think June 26th is our date for that.
Bridgeville.
So in Bridgeville.
Yeah.
So
And there's a lot of just celebrating the industry as well. And you guys just had the annual event down in Florida. Talk about that.
Oh my gosh.
I know, because there's the Next Gen group, and
Yes.
and they have a whole interesting thing, and there's a winner for that group, right?
Doug Marcello is with Saxton and Stump. He's kind of a transportation lawyer. One of the big things
he's everywhere.
He is everywhere. He is such a good public speaker. That was my first time hearing him speak.
Oh yeah.
And it is just the things that he has to say are so interesting. One of the things that I have learned about trucking, and you can relate to this, I'm sure, Rebecca, is lawsuit abuse is huge for these companies.
Oh, man.
Because you get into one of those lawsuits and that can put your whole company out of business, millions and millions of dollars. And a lot of times these companies aren't at fault and are being dragged into these things. So just very interesting how all of that works. And Doug leads our Next Gen committee, but he's also, big in the kind of transportation law
Member of the
sector.
board as well.
Member of the board, yeah. So he won our Next Gen award just for the work that he's put in for that. But I'm very excited about our Next Gen committee. We are hoping to get that back up and running here after we've had some big events. So if there are any young people out there watching that are in the trucking industry and looking for more ways to get connected and network, we are kicking that back up. We'll have some webinars, some live 5 in-person events that we're really excited about. So stay tuned. Check the PMTA event calendar for those.
We also had our first women's event a couple
yes.
weeks ago in partnership with ATA's Women in Motion. And I think we had about 40 women there who are involved in the transportation industry here in Pennsylvania, and all the way from drivers all the way up to CEOs. And it was such an interesting discussion, and we're going to be having some more of those events as well here in the future across the state. So excited about that as well.
Yeah, that's one of the big things that I have tried to talk about today a little bit is how PMTA gets everybody together.
Yes.
I think it has been such an interesting thing to see how much of a family this really is. And all the way from the insurance side to the compliance side to the drivers and the safety managers and, you know, the owners of the companies. Everybody is on the same page. Everybody is friendly with each other. And it really has been just such an interesting thing to kind of come into and be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. It is such a sort of family oriented in many ways. And a lot of these companies are competitive with each other, you know, as we all know. But when it comes to advocating and supporting the trucking industry, we're all on the same page.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
You know, and talking about family and people that are involved, we chatted with a volunteer who has competed a couple years prior and now is volunteering and was helping shepherd people through after the pre-trip inspection. It was Mike with Ward Transport and Logistics. Let's get a little bit of a conversation with him and see what he thought about helping out here at PMTA or at the PA Truck Driving Championships 2024.
There we go. Long name.
Excellent.
I am here with Mike with Ward, and he's volunteering this year at the Truck Driving Championships. And I believe you've competed before, right?
I have, yeah. So 2 years ago, in 2022 was my first rookie year, first time competing. I've been driving truck for 18 years, and so I had the opportunity to compete with Ward Trucking. Took 4th place that year as a rookie. So it was pretty cool. Competed last year, didn't do as well as my first year.
What got you?
It's what's that?
What got you? The test, the pre-trip?
My first year was the pre-trip. You know, unexpected. You know what I mean? But it's just a great community of competitors in the trucking industry here. So this year I'm not competing. I took a regional manager safety position this year, so now I'm volunteering. I've been helping coaching our rookies and our competitors compete this year. So really exciting year to see how many drivers we have competing.
That's awesome. How many drivers do you have?
With Ward Trucking, we got 10.
10, awesome. And what categories are they competing in?
Just about every class.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Awesome. And so tell me a little bit about Ward Trucking, and are you guys local, regional?
Yeah, we're a regional carrier. We service the LTL industry.
Yep.
So we have 22 service centers. We just kind of servicing Indianapolis. We just kicked off this month as well. So yeah, it's
well, it's perfect. If, once one of your guys goes to nationals this year, maybe if they win it.
We're hoping for the first time to send Ward Trucking to the nationals. That is our goal.
Send them to nationals, and it's in Indianapolis where you're at.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
All right, welcome back. Oh my gosh, I think we've been live streaming for over 3 hours now. And honestly, I think the event is like halfway over for the driving course. So there's so much more happening out here behind us. And while we would like to be out here forever, we're going to be wrapping up in just a little bit. But tell me, what's happening the rest of the day, and what's it look like?
What isn't happening the rest of today? So, like you said, we have about, I think we have about 4 classes left to take on the course out here. And you can see we have 2 courses going on at the same time. So we're able to take care of 2 drivers at one time, but we have about 200 drivers to get through. So that'll take a while. We are hoping to be done around 2:30, 3 o'clock. And then this afternoon we have a big banquet. One of the best things that I have captured on video this weekend has been the trucks loading into the banquet hall. I got a great TikTok that I think I posted on Facebook Reels. So if you're watching on Facebook, check it out. But anyways, that is our banquet hall that we'll have a big dinner at, and they do a parade of champions. All of the drivers get to kind of walk in together and be celebrated. And then we, of course, have the awards, and that is a big deal. We've got, CNS is actually a trophy sponsor today, so that's very exciting. And yeah, it's just a big deal for these drivers to get to win. So we're excited for them. They have worked really hard. One of the things that somebody said that was sitting here today is it takes a lot to get here. You have to be accident-free for a whole year, whether unpreventable or preventable, you know? So
there's winners of previous years who's won nationals with Walmart, and he couldn't be here because of an accident that it wasn't his fault, but it was still an accident, and couldn't make it due to qualification. It's insane. So just to be able to be here, the 200 here to doing the event now, and if we have more and more in the years to come, that's a lot of safe drivers and the best out on the road, and we want to see as many of them out here as possible to, again, celebrate them at this event.
Absolutely. I also want to say hello to your daughter here, Luke.
Yep, Skylar.
Hello, Skylar. How's your slushie? Do you want to show it off to the camera? It looks delicious. What flavor have we got there?
Really good. We got 3 flavors.
Ooh.
Coca-Cola.
Ooh, Coca-Cola.
Wild cherry.
Wild cherry.
And the blue raspberry, right?
Blue. Yeah. Oh my gosh. How's it been at Kalahari for you this weekend? Talking to the microphone.
Really good.
Really good. What has been your favorite part?
Probably like the wave pool.
The wave pool.
Oh,
yeah. Fun. Are you like exhausted, or are you having a great time?
I'm having a great time.
Having a great time. Of course she is. I'm exhausted, and I bet Dad's exhausted too.
I'm exhausted. I'm excited though. Like, you excited to go home, and who are you missing right now?
We're missing our dog Noble.
Oh, Noble. How old is Noble?
He is 5.
And what kind of dog is he?
He's a long-haired dachshund.
Ooh, oh, cute. Very cute. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Skylar. It was great to meet you, and thanks for being here with us. And that really has been so. Oh, do you want to come say hi, Jonas, too? Okay, no. He says no. He also has a slushie.
There's a lot of people out here who has been shying from the camera.
Yeah,
and so.
I don't blame him. Unfortunately, I have no shame, and so that's just we roll with it. So I think this is really like the best part of this event is like it's fun for the whole family.
Yes.
The drivers can bring their families. They want to come watch. They want to come hang out with us, and then of course like the water slides are fun too. So it's been really fun.
All right, so to wrap up, again, like, subscribe, follow PMTA on their Facebook page and everywhere else, TikTok, YouTube, etc. They have the live stream here, and there's a lot of fun videos that, of course, Megan has, and I think there's a photographer walking around here doing a lot more.
We'll have some great photos to come, so if you're looking for drivers or family members that are here today, we'll have those soon. And I also want to say a huge thank you to Luke and his team at CNS. He has 2 kind of other employees at CNS that are working behind the scenes for us, Will and Toby. They are doing God's work, truly, over there. They brought in all this equipment. We have really done a great job. I think I'm very excited about this and excited about our partnership, so thank you so much for being here and taking such an active role in this. CNS has been such a great partner of ours, and you guys have the same kind of mindset that PMTA has, which is to build up that safety culture, to make yourself as compliant and as safe as you can be, because like we've heard today, that's what makes us a successful company.
And if you want to be safe and compliant, first go to pmta.org and get involved. Find ways to get involved. Just ask a question and ask, hey, I want to be here. They'll help you out. And then you can go to, we have 5 different websites, but go to cnsprotects.com/news. Follow all the articles and content that I'm writing and putting up there, latest news in the industry. If articles isn't your choice and you like videos better, type in CNS Companies or at CNS Companies on YouTube. We have videos, a monthly newsletter that goes out there. And Caution Wide Right is our podcast. Caution Wide Right, like the sticker in the back of many of your trucks, .com. And you can see we have on our 2nd season right now. We interview drivers, we interview companies, and hopefully with a lot of the fun representatives here today, we can have more coming on in the months and years to come. But again, like, subscribe, a lot of content, a lot of these, if you've been on here, the families that have been on here, we're gonna clip these and repost some more stuff. So subscribe and check out what's going to be coming down the road.
Yep. With that, just thank you everybody for watching and for supporting PMTA and CNS. It's been so fun to be here with you and kind of cover all aspects of what we do, not only at PMTA, but here at the Truck Driving Championships. This really is such an incredible event, and we're just so excited about everything we've done this weekend. So thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know if you have any questions either about PMTA or CNS. We are here to answer them. Leave them in the comments. Head over to our websites. And with that, I think we can use your tagline.
And as always,
stay safe out there.